Hello, horror fiends, and welcome to Guess What? You're Wrong, the podcast where we dive into all things horror and spoil the hell out of every movie we discuss. With me, Big D, as your host, be prepared for a terrifyingly good time. From classic slasher flicks to contemporary horror masterpieces, we're going to explore the genre from every angle that we can and leave no stone unturned. Horror, prints, and shine. New conversations, same podcast. So buckle up, bonehead, because you're going for a ride.
Enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Check it out. So this is the 100th episode, the centennial episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. Now, I thought I really wanted to do something special for this episode. And I thought that, you know what? Let's go ahead and have a conversation with a good friend of mine, Jared Campbell, over at Spring Lane Cinemas and / Studios. He is an independent filmmaker. So we spent the next 2 hours digging into his head about his movies. Let's check it out. Hello and welcome back to another loquaciously local episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. Now, today we are on location and we are at who?
Locale.
On an exotic locale. We are here at Spring Lane Cinemas Studios with Jared Campbell. How's it going, Jared?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
And also...
And Kelvin, of course.
Here, too.
So now this is the 100th episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. So everybody out there knows that I'm a huge fan of independent horror. Love it. I've had other independent horror producers, directors on the podcast in the past, and I thought nothing greater than to have my friend Jared come on and talk about his movies. He's been making some movies.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the newest one, Migraine, shortly. But first off, I got to ask you, what got you into wanting to make movies?
The first time I ever saw a movie in the theater, it changed my life. I don't know what it was about the way... I just don't understand it. It just spoke to me in a way that I never thought that it would. I didn't even know what we were doing. I was 4 years old, and I just see these ads for this film on television, and I thought it just looked so cool because I was a huge Mr. Potato Head fan. That was my favorite toy as a kid. So I just see Mr. Potato Head running around on the television. And of
Was
course,
it for like Toy Story?
It was for Toy Story,
Mhm.
1995, and I thought, that looks so cool. I want to see that. And my parents are like, hey, we're going to take you to see that Toy Story movie. And my little 4-year-old brain is like, oh, cool. I can't wait, because, like at the time I knew how to run a VCR when I was 3.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. No, they showed me how to use it and I immediately clicked with it. And that VCR lasted me until about 2 years ago.
I don't know if I could walk when I was 3.
I don't know. I got on with it because I played Nightmare Before Christmas on it like crazy.
At 3?
3.
Nice.
My parents got it for me when I was around that age, and I would talk to the television because I thought that Jack Skellington could talk back to me.
Jared, I want to say that makes a lot of sense now.
I get you.
How it does. No one knew what that movie was either.
What do you mean?
Well, at the time, Nightmare Before Christmas was a huge bomb at the box office, and when I was in school, everyone said, "What was your favorite movie?" And that was amongst them, and no one was like, "We don't know what that is." And I'm like, "Man, how times have changed."
Yes, okay.
Man, how it's changed.
Yeah.
Now
I was
it's
reading somewhere because
every Hot Topic girly loves Jack Skellington.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I started covering some kid-friendly horror movies on my podcast, and I have my daughter comes on, and we did Nightmare Before Christmas, and I did a bunch of background research on that, and I was reading some of the stuff I didn't want to put in there because I didn't want to bore her, but yeah, I was reading that it didn't do good at all, and it wasn't until, years later that it had a huge resurgence.
Yeah.
Now it's like
You can't
Tim Burton
escape it.
gold.
Yeah. It's like Hocus Pocus, except Hocus Pocus is a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm glad Nightmare Before Christmas found its audience, but I wish the Hocus Pocus literally crawls back under the rock it came from.
Would go away.
I like the cat. That's the best part of the movie, the cat.
I'm glad it got hit.
He comes
I
back,
love
though.
cats.
I don't remember it.
I love cats, but it just brings me joy to see them pick up
He fills right back up with air.
The only thing I remember about Hocus Pocus is that it had the 3 witches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
The
probably
Canker
all you should remember.
sisters.
Never rewatched
Literally the Canker sisters. worst.
Yeah. It's horrible.
I don't remember anything else. I remember not too long ago we watched the sequel.
I'm so
with the
sorry.
kids, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that was bad.
sequels
Yeah.
nowadays, man.
But Toy Story did it. Toy Story was the thing that did it. And I loved being in that theater so much and seeing the screen be so absent. Like at 4 years old, you can imagine what a screen looks like in the theater.
Oh yeah,
The magic's kind of gone now, but I still love the theatrical experience more than anything. And I would just beg to go to the movies like all the time. Like it was an obsession with me. Anything that came out, I had to go see it. And there's a lot of things I got to miss out on because I wasn't like we weren't rich.
Yeah.
Like even then, like ticket prices were still pretty kind of wild. But I never forgot it, and it seems like it never forgot me.
That's good.
Pretty magical first movie too.
is.
Like as far back as I can remember, I think the first movie that I can remember is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation, which is why I think I love claymation so much.
It's so good, though.
It's really adorable.
Yeah.
Like it's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's a sweet film about misfits. That's what I like about it. It's very sweet, but
I guess I'm dating myself, but I remember the first movie that I saw that wowed me was The Black Hole from Disney.
The Black Hole.
Very misleading title, but I didn't know.
Yeah, this shows my age because I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's not my media server, dude. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'll still watch it. I love the movie, and that was one of the movies that when I saw
Is it similar to like Flight of the Navigator? Like is it
Negative.
Oh, okay.
Black Hole was definitely a huge space adventure. Wasn't it 75, 76?
Yeah.
I want to see.
the Maximilian and the robots that they had, Vincent. I had the toys, and that was the first movie I remember seeing that I thought, because we watched it on cable, and I thought that, okay, my mom, we had to go to the grocery store. We had to go do something. I thought that when we stopped it, when we came back, I could still finish watching it. So when I came home and it wasn't on, I was pissed. I was 3 or 4 years old.
We had the same mentality on that, too. I was like, oh, it'll still be there when I come back.
I remember
What?
I remember getting my ass beat because I was throwing a fit.
Wait, actually, at the time, did tapes not exist where you could record it?
No, this was like,
Okay. I'm just,
like 77, 78.
Okay.
The first commercial VCR was released to the public in 79.
And even then, it was very
that was
expensive.
the
And it was like, it was a bit,
It wasn't until the video boom of the 80s where people were literally renting VCRs and their video, because you rented because VCRs you couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And VHS you couldn't afford. So they literally took VCRs and VHS and opened stores so you could rent them.
So that's why Family Video and Blockbuster blew up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I remember there was a place in
Now
where I
there's
grew
a
up
market
in
for it,
Ohio.
so.
It was called Curtis Mathis, and we used to rent VCRs from there so we could watch movies. Oh, the days! What was the first movie you made?
First movie I made, I was 11. I got a Super 8, not the film, but like the video 8, like the 8mm cassette tapes.
Mm.
I got a camera for Christmas of 2002. And of course, my dumb ass didn't know how to use it. So I had to learn how to use it. And by the time I finally mastered on how I wanted to use it, it was like 2003 March. So it took a couple months for me to really figure out like how to do it. Because there was a lot of stuff with the camera that like there was effects and there were just all sorts of different things that you could do with the final product on that. It was a very revolutionary little camera. And the first movie I made, it was literally called Stupid. Because it was ridiculously awful. Like, I mean, it's just me running around in the backyard screaming at the top of my lungs with my cousin.
That's
Destroying property,
yes.
destroying like homes and whatever we could think of. Like, literally, there's holes in the wall to this day from the destruction that we did in that movie.
You were
Is
11.
Yeah,
Is this cousin the Ben cousin?
it's that. Yeah, it's that cousin.
Okay. Cool.
It's that cousin. We don't talk about that.
Yes.
But,
Just wondering. Sorry, just curious.
oh yeah, no, that is atrocious. But we had a great time doing it. I've managed like over the years, like I go back to it because it is very nostalgic for me to see like true childhood spontaneity. Like it is you as a kid.
You still have it?
secret. I still have it.
Really?
Nice.
It was 16 hours.
Oh wow!
Just the whole tape?
It went through 8 tapes. Of
Oh,
me,
wow.
And I've cut it down to an hour.
Okay.
And that's the version that I currently have, like just floating around on my hard drives. If anyone's curious about it, it's awful. It's so bad. It's not. There's no plot. It's just literally us destroying property.
So
It's awful.
It's like Jackass before Jackass.
Oh, absolutely. It was, but like way worse. Just imagine like the most insufferable found footage movie you could ever watch, and that's what that is.
But you know how fun that is? Like, that's also, like, I think That's what sparks kind of the imagination. Like I see my younger siblings running out around, like they whenever they buy digital cameras, just taking pictures, and like obviously it's just them running around having fun.
A few.
Yes, they've had quite a few, and eventually I want to give Sophia a knack because I feel like she has more of a knack for the creative mind. I want Liam to be more sportsy, but we'll see how it goes.
You never know.
I don't know about that.
Like Crew Jones.
I'm saying I hope. I'm saying I can hope, can I?
I wanted to get him into hockey, but he had no desire.
Where are you going to play hockey?
Dude,
Don't worry about it.
we'll find it out.
Okay, all right.
Shut up, Kelvin. You're not a part of this anymore.
Okay, all right. I'll walk out.
No, come back. I need you.
That's one of the sports that I've liked was hockey. I like to watch hockey. Early and anymore, it's not this way. But earlier on, when I used to watch it when I was younger, there was always fights. It was always one of those things. You're like, everybody would get on their feet screaming when there's fights on the ice. It's not that much that way anymore, but
No.
it was fun in my younger years. Anyway, stop with reliving
The past.
All these questions are past related.
I'm telling you. But so that was your first movie.
Yes.
What was your first movie? Now, did you show it to all your family?
Oh God, no. I would have got my ass beat if they saw that. I did horrible things, and I just harassed my poor grandpa, the entire, he's just threatened to beat my ass. He takes there's one moment where I scream so loud that he literally takes a fucking garden hoe and chases me down with it, and that's real. That's real. And I
can imagine just like a 8-year-old man just being annoyed as child.
I made
Shut
a lot
up.
of films from that time. From the time I was 12 to the time I was 19, I made a lot of experimental stuff.
Mm.
And whether it's animation, whether it's horror, whether it's comedy or action, anything I could experiment with, I wanted to do it. I went through several different cameras, several digital cameras, film cameras, anything that I can think of, anything that I got my hands on. But I did not have a lot of friends at all. There was nothing there for me. I had one good friend, maybe two, but even they didn't get it, because this was at a time where even having a camera was,
Yeah.
they're like, why do you have a camera? Why are you filming everything?
You're just guy, the camera guy. You're that guy walking around with a camera. Yeah.
It's just who I was. I loved film. I wanted to get involved with it, but I did not have the same support group that I do now.
Yeah.
Because times have changed so much. But I also didn't have the experience. But I couldn't get the experience simply because I could not find anybody interested or willing to partake in these experimental films. So,
but even you walking around with even that is experience. Because as someone who wanted to be a director at one point or another, not doing that, it hinders you, in your creative process. As well.
When I started here at the theater, I started working at the theater at 19, and I stopped filmmaking because I just couldn't find anybody to help me out with it. But I thought to myself, I still love film, and I still want to be involved with that industry in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I got a job here because I knew Ben, because Ben was one of the people that helped me out with my experimental stuff. Ben's in probably every experimental film that I ever did. And Ben being the general manager here, he gave me the job, and I just started seeing what audiences like and how they
little Benjamin.
Little Benjamin. Little thin, sexy Benjamin.
He was sexy, man.
Yeah, he really was.
His college him.
He was really supportive. He was probably one of the only supportive people in my life at that time with these experimental films.
Yeah.
So it was how long? Maybe 4 or 5 years later. That's when my friend Omar started working here.
Okay.
And my friend John Felix, John Felix was a customer that came in all the time. And John Felix.
That's how you met him? Really?
Just a customer. He was a customer that came in with his mom and dad. And
that's crazy. That's so awesome.
We just hit it off.
Yeah,
he was so fun. And then,
I understand. He's a great human being.
He asked me to hang out, and I'm like, well, that's never happened before. So he asked me to hang out with him one day, and we hung out on Free Comic Book Day. And Omar started, being really close to us as well, and we started talking to him. And one day, I just walked in on a conversation with Omar talking about, I want to own an adult video store. My name's Omar, so I want to call it Omar, and I would love to run the store. And I feel like I want to wear penis hats. The bigger the dick is, the bigger the dick is, how high up you are on the staff. The management team has the biggest dick on the hat, and we're just dying of laughter.
Yes,
at this.
I assume he said it's also black,
and that was the first time within that 4 to 5 years that I really felt a creative spark. And I'm like, I think that maybe I can get back into filmmaking and do something that I've never done before, and that's actually make a film with a script, with a story, with a bunch of people who actually care about the medium to come together and do something bigger than ourselves. And we fucking did it.
So up to that point, you hadn't made anything that you had like shown a bunch of people?
I've never shown anyone any of the experimental films that I've done.
Which is upsetting because I want to see them now. Yes, I do. Yes!
All.
I love it.
But it was a learning curve.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the process. I mean, you think Christopher Nolan, or like any big director, you think they were making beautiful art when they were 11? No.
Yeah.
They
Probably.
were doing what everybody, no, they were not.
Everybody wakes up and pisses excellence.
Sam Raimi does.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
Think about that. Dude was in his early 20s. Was he even 20 when he did Into the Woods?
See,
when they
With
first
a
made
team.
Into the Woods, no, I don't think they were 20 yet.
wait, Into the Woods is
The precursor to Evil Dead. It was the
I've never heard of
It's
this.
hard to watch because the quality is so diminished over
Yeah.
the years. Like, it's hard to find an actual good copy of that film.
Damn.
But, man.
it's what spawned the idea of Evil Dead.
Okay.
No.
Is it
Got that.
is it a short, I assume?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
short.
Okay.
It's about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Something
roughly.
like that,
Like
yeah.
that. I remember it's not that long, and I saw it on YouTube, and it was one of those watching. You're like, oh god, I can't. I want to watch it, but I can't. There's so much that I can't make out. I just kind of wish it was over.
Yeah.
You're like, but that gave us Evil Dead.
Yeah,
So
got a hell of a film out of it.
I mean, damn.
I mean, yeah. And I love a series, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of the most perfectly consistent series ever.
We could talk.
Yeah, honestly, I've never watched the show. I've watched like the
I
first
am
season.
a huge Evil Dead fan
Yes.
from the get go.
If you love horror, you gotta love Evil Dead.
Everything from the first Evil Dead up to Evil Dead Rise, everything in between, even the 2013 remake, I liked it.
Yeah, it was all good.
Betty Alvarez, I think, did a spectacular job.
Good director.
I get a lot of flack from people saying that the only true Evil Dead series contains Ash. That's not true.
It's definitely not true.
Yeah, no.
That's not. I mean, even coming out of Bruce Campbell and the Raimis and Rob Tappert's, their idea, their concept after was to broaden the world, open up that world to other directors, make them. Which what Fetty did, and then they did an Evil Dead Rise. It was spectacular.
Who directed Rise?
Oh,
I feel so bad because
I forget.
Yeah, me too. Because I
it's been a whole
generally,
year now.
yeah, wow,
Yeah.
that's when I came here.
Yeah, you did. I
When
remember.
I remember coming to go watch this movie.
That was how we bonded, Kel.
Yes, it really was. I remember you walking up and being like, "Hey, I know I already offered you the job." It's like in like a few weeks, wanna be manager? And I was like, "Hell yes, please.
Yeah.
That'd be great."
It was just like we were all in agreement. We were like, "Do you have a better choice?" I was like, "No."
Lee
Fabulous.
Cronin. Lee
Cronin. That's right.
What else is they made? What else have they made?
Are you gonna make me look at it?
anything?
Really? That's awesome.
No, I think he.
I will say,
Cronin-
if that is their first,
I don't think it was his first.
He's a guy who got it. They got a good. That was a good choice of director. You got to
He
get a
did
fan to do
50
it.
States of
Yeah,
Fright,
seriously.
The Hole in the Ground.
Oh
Ghost Train.
yeah. Okay.
He did some shorts. This was definitely his first big
Mhm.
movie he did.
Oh yeah, and he successfully,
Oh, absolutely.
beautifully pulled it off. It was a great film.
That's
I'm going to be honest. I do really like that movie. I think the thing that really wraps it together is that mom. That mom is the best part of that film.
He's
I feel bad that I can't remember the actress's name,
Alyssa
but
Sutherland.
yeah. When I
okay, yeah, you put that to memory for a reason. It's worth it. Yes,
Like that.
Yeah.
You have a performance like that, I'll
Yeah.
never forget it.
the late
I
Southern.
remembered her from when I saw that first trailer for that, and I saw her, I was like, "That's that woman from the Vikings TV show."
Yeah.
Because that's where I
Never seen it.
recognized her from. And then seeing her in this movie, I was like shocked.
Yeah.
Because I had never seen her. The only thing I had seen her act in was as a Viking, And I've seen this, and I'm like, this is fucking spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
It was, dude. She did a spectacular
Oh, yeah.
job in that movie. Spectacular job.
It's kind of sad I haven't seen it again since the theater, but I should watch it again.
Well, actually, I have to watch it coming up here because that's the next
yes.
movie I'm covering with Dave from the Piedmont Triad podcast. We're doing that.
Did you guys finish the show already?
Yeah, we just finished up Ash vs. Evil Dead season 3.
Nice.
What a great ending to that too.
I still haven't watched it at all. I've watched maybe the first
First
5 episodes or something. Yeah.
And the first season's only 6 episodes long, I think, or 6 or 7.
There's no way.
Yeah, I think so. The first season I think is pretty short.
I'll get to it at some point. I've been saying that since it's been out, and it's been out since 2012, 2013.
You have no excuse because I have physical copies and I have digital copies everywhere.
I know.
No excuse.
I've got a lot of their other content. Or I say a lot of other media to watch and process.
Saw 2.
Yeah.
Saw 2.
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm sorry, guys. We'll get there. I promise.
Yeah. So, what was the first official movie that you put out that people saw?
It was Omar.
Yeah. The Omar. Well, it was
Omar trilogy.
When did it come out?
Omar come out on August 8th, 2015.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
It took 8 months to shoot. We filmed it here in the studio.
You know, and I've never watched this one yet.
Oh, you're not missing it. But we.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Look.
all right.
Yes, you are. Okay, look. If you like Clerks,
I like the first one.
I want to go on record really quick just to say that I absolutely love Omar with all my heart.
Yes.
It was my first. It is my child.
It's your first baby.
Firstborn child. It was the first thing that actually, like, they were like, we really made a film. Like, we made a movie.
Yes.
And everybody loved it, and it is absolutely hilarious. But, you know, we evolve, and we make better stuff. But that is absolutely not a slight against anything or anyone that made that movie possible. It will always live on in my heart as probably one of my greatest.
I will remember the night where we watched all 3 of those here. Like forever. I will always remember that night because it was literally just us. We were all sitting on the floor or the counter.
Yeah.
And because it was just us talking throughout the entire movie about like, oh my God, that reference, like that's a clerk. Like, yeah, it was.
Oh
it was
my
amazing.
gosh, dude! Just reading the description of this movie.
Yeah, we all watch it. So you know what? I didn't realize
that sounds like a great movie.
Oh, they're crazy.
Oh
my gosh,
we should do episodes on the movies. Like we can watch them and do. I know we're busy with Saw, but like we should. I want to.
I got a lot of supposed to be.
Yeah, I know.
That's a great movie.
Saw 2. Okay, look,
we're doing the whole Saw franchise.
Saw 1 through 3 are pretty damn good.
Yeah, guess what I watched the other week?
You had to watch 5.
I watched 4.
4's not bad.
4 isn't terrible,
but 5 is terrible.
Okay, no spoilers. I haven't seen it ever. So.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not a movie.
Wait,
it's just content.
4 is what I think it is, right? 4 is with the guy. Okay, actually, never mind. I can't spoil it. No, never mind.
I've seen them all.
Yeah, but it was forever ago. No,
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. No. Oh yes. Decentralized.
I swear we get
sidetracked.
Yeah,
easily.
Movie lovers, man.
You just start droning off.
Certain triggers.
So the Omar trilogy.
Yes, sir.
This was a story you were telling about when you met Omar.
Yep.
Okay, now I get it. Okay.
He had just the funniest ideas, and we're all just sitting there like with everybody who worked.
Do they have penis hats in the movie?
Yes, they do. Yes, it's beautiful. And
we came up with.
I gotta see this.
It has a string that
it has a string so it snaps up and down. So it was funny because we didn't have a budget. And there was a comic book store here in town that I was really close to, and they had old Playboys. And I'm like, can I borrow these Playboys for like a couple movie passes? He's like, sure. So we had store stock then. I had to go to Spencer's to get the penis hats. And I also got a couple other things like penis-shaped lollipops or anything that was just phallic. I wanted it in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because I said, because I was like, it's just Clerks, but it's in a video store, but I want a horror element to it. And I thought, okay, so basically the movie revolves around Omar and his friends run an adult video store, sell a bunch of porn.
Which was shot in this
very studio.
Yeah, right here.
This entire area was converted into a very shitty looking pornographic store.
It works pretty well.
It worked better as it went on.
Yeah, I worked in porn shops before, so
it doesn't.
I've heard the horrifying stories of working there. I don't understand. I feel bad for the souls that have that job.
I feel bad for anyone involved with this movie because now it's on their permanent record.
Now they'll be looked back on.
IMDb, you're like, oh God, you were in that. No, it's hilarious. But basically, the premise is, you got Omar and you got all of his friends. They're working at the porn store. Everybody's having a grand old time, but the porn store is failing because you have a Christian petitioner trying to shut them down.
Who is the best character in all of 3 films? Who's the character? I feel
his name is Vincenzo.
Yeah.
But the actor, he's Brandon Hooker, and he is absolutely spectacular.
Yes.
He's being one of the best people that I've ever known, ever had the privilege of knowing. Everyone involved with this franchise is just a fucking wonderful.
I've met quite a handful of them. They're all wonderful people.
The horror element to Omar is that there is a mysterious VHS tape out there, very mysterious VHS tape, and there is a villain all dressed in black. It's John Felix. and he wants this tape. It was stolen from him. Someone sold it on eBay with the condition of being sticky, and he really needs to find this tape. He's looking for it everywhere. He eventually tracks it down to where it was sold, and it was sold to Omar, because Omar is like, well, this is a very rare porno tape, and this could save the store, because I'm going to buy this tape, I'm going to sell this tape, and I'm going to make the money to pay off the Christian petitioner so he gets the fuck away from the store. And
Perfect plan.
In pure chaos ensues, because the tape accidentally gets sold, murder goes down, spirits, demons start happening because the tape is possessed. And and the worst part about it is, and the reason why there's a reason why these films has not been publicly available. I don't own the soundtrack rights.
That is the utter shame of it. Like I'm it's upsetting.
I know I do not own the soundtrack rights because I use stock music and stuff from like other films, because I mean this movie cost $102.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
$102. Everything was donated to us in terms of pornography.
I can't remember. Did the premiere start with Omar as well? Did you guys have a premiere?
We had a premiere for it. Yes.
Okay.
It was my first premiere, and a lot of people showed up, and it was like I have actual audience reaction footage from the premiere for the whole movie, and that will be available on the Blu-ray to watch.
Yes. I mean,
audience reactions for all the films that we do, because I like to see what works and what doesn't.
Wait,
take that audience. Oh yeah, Migraine. I did it too.
No, that's what Kane was recording. Is that what Kane was recording?
No, I recorded it myself.
Oh, okay.
I record every single audience reaction because I want to know what people like. It was my phone.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
And then when I hear it, I'm like, okay, they like that joke, but they didn't like that one, and then I
develop from there.
Yeah. From there. Omar was a huge success, actually. It was received very well by everybody who watched it because it was just batshit crazy, hilarious. The second reason why it has not been publicly available is because I'm probably going to get sued because of two reasons. Number one, Ghostbusters stuff is everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's like a Ghostbusters fan film in a way as well, because John Felix was a huge Ghostbusters fan, still is. And he had the suit and the proton pack, and I'm like, man, this is a great prop. We should put it in the movie. So Ghostbusters kind of ties into the film in a way.
Yeah.
And also there's a third thing. The reason the tape's backstory, I feel like, is going to get us in so much trouble that I'm like, man, that family is going to come for us if they see this movie. I
feel bad. I can't remember the backstory.
It's okay. You didn't miss it.
No, but explain for the podcast.
Okay,
we need context. We need context. And also, I want to know.
It also doesn't make sense logically in terms of the timeline, but I was like, okay, but for a joke. And then we expanded upon it as the sequels kept.
Oh, 30.
So basically, the tape belonged to Bob Crane.
Like
Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane. And if you don't know about Bob Crane, not in real life, but for the sake of the story. So basically, the whole purpose of this haunted tape in Omar, and this is spoiler territory here for everybody, the tape in Omar was originally from Bob Crane's private collection. Now, Bob Crane was a Hogan's Heroes actor in the 70s, and he was known for having a lot of fucking sex with a lot of people and filmed it.
In Hogan's Heroes?
I can't remember. But he got murdered.
Damn.
Probably because of infidelity. I don't know. And no one really knows how he got murdered. But
Still to this day?
Still to this day. They never found the killer.
Cold case files, baby. Let's find out.
He was hit in the head with a tripod. That's all they know. And probably
at his
tripod.
home?
Yeah. But they found blood in like the suspect's car, but they couldn't pin it on him.
Wait.
Yeah.
But who's the suspect? I guess
John Carpenter, but not the John Carpenter.
Oh, that's really funny.
Wow. It's crazy, but I don't know why, but my morbid thought was like, I thought it was funny.
No, so it's just crazy. It's like
fucking story.
Yeah, that is insane.
And VHS didn't exist at the time, but I was like, you know what? It'll pass. It'll pass. It'll be fine for the story. So basically, we made the tape one of his private tapes, and as it continues on with the series, there's more backstory to the tape. Like, okay, so yes, it was Bob Crane's tape, but one of the last person that he had sex with in my story, in my version, in the Omar trilogy, what is canon is that there was a demon woman, and that was the last person that saw him and literally killed him because she was like, what the hell is this? Oh, we're going to have this. Well, fuck that. Bashes his head, held him with the tripod, and then it's like, the cops are coming. She's like, so what do? She puts her essence and soul into the tape.
Yes.
And she's trapped there.
And we do see that in 3.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I can see why Bob Crane's family might not like that.
Well, I don't care about them. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I don't.
No, but yeah, I mean, like, it
I
makes
want to
sense.
see that now.
Oh, it's a fun time. All three of them are just
Yeah,
insane.
right here.
We weren't supposed to do a sequel. I wanted to do
Yeah, I remember
wanted to do a horror film after Omar,
Called-
but St. Patrick's Day.
Which, okay, like, I feel bad. It's still the only one I haven't seen.
That's the
You're
first.
fine.
That's the
out of
first
all-
one I saw.
It's funny. It's
And-
I've seen every single other one but that one.
The last movie I tried to make in my experimental era was St. Patrick's Day, and I made a fake trailer, and that trailer did not get a lot of views on YouTube. I just basically filmed scenes that I wanted to film and put together, like kind of like how Eli Roth did Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did the same
yes.
thing with St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe if somebody sees this and they want it, then we can get some financing for it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go the way as planned. And then that was the last thing I did before I stopped filmmaking and then worked at the theater.
Oh, at
And
19?
yeah.
Okay.
And after Omar, I was like, I want to go back to St. Patrick's Day. It's just been on my mind for so long. And John Felix was like, wait, and let's just make, because we got to make this one better than the last one. So I think we should hold off for now. And I agreed with him because I thought to myself, you know what? I agree because I need more experience and I love doing Omar and I thought it was great, but I don't think anyone's going to take me seriously quite yet because of how crazy and shoddy Omar
was, yes.
So we're going to get a little bit more experience. And at the late end of 2016, like this was because Omar released on August 8th of 2015 and it hit YouTube after that. And of course it's been removed from YouTube since then, but we all
By
sat
you or
down-
the site?
by me.
Okay.
But probably the site eventually. There's a lot of dick. But after one night, I had like this really vivid dream, and I was like, "This is an incredible story." And I came to John, and I came to his fiance at the time. And I sat down and I said, "I want to do an Omar sequel, and this is where it's going." And they loved the concept so much that we had a script done in like a week.
Wow.
And we started buying up props, and we already had promotional images done. Literally, because I asked the whole cast, I was like, the whole cast was like, "We've got to come back." I was like, "Are you serious?" Everyone wanted to come back so bad, and we did it. It took it was a long time in between, finances and stuff. O World is the name of the second Omar. It came out in December of 2017.
I love the name so much because it's like, I know it isn't, but to me it sounds like an amusement park, like World.
When really it's about,
Yes.
That's the thing. So the O World title for that movie comes from basically the expansion of the story going into like we're done with the porn store. We see the porn store for a little bit, but now we're out into the real world. We're out into the open, and we experience some of the spirit world because I wanted to develop more story on the ghost busting aspect of it, because the Ghostbuster character was a huge part of the first film, and a major character dies in the first one, and we wanted to bring him back for the sequel because he's just so fucking delightful. And we were like, okay, well, if the Ghostbuster has ways of
Sweet baby Tyler.
catching ghosts, what about releasing them? So we come up with the idea of like the best friend trying to come up with ways to access that spirit world to bring him back from the dead. So it's kind of like a romantic film, the second one.
Wait, I'm confused. I mean, like again, going back, but didn't Tyler die in the first one? Okay, so is that? Oh, no, he is his friend. You're right.
wanted to bring him
I just
back.
remember him as Raven's.
I was so sad because his story ended at the second one because I really wanted to bring him back for the third one. And we didn't even plan on doing a third one, but we had so much fun doing the second one. Like, we had even more fun the second. We're like, I guess we'll just make it a trilogy.
I can't remember. You told me where you guys filmed it, but where was the finale filmed into?
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Oblivion.
No, sorry. And Omar, the finale of Omar, or O World, sorry.
Oh, it was filmed at NC State.
That's where, okay, yeah. Because I remember
We used
looking
NC
at it, I
State
was
for
like,
like the Ghostbusters laboratory stuff.
Yeah, I
So
remember-
we got access to like a lot of stuff in there. And it was,
I remember being like, this is, I thought the reference was like, it looks like the library in Ghostbusters 1.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole
Yeah.
bit. He was like, yep, that was
we
it.
had to come up with lore. Oblivion came out in November of 2019. So these movies took every other year. It was like a 5-year journey to make these. Each one got better as time went along. The experience was there. And with Oblivion, I was like, well, it's got to be one hell of a finale. I mean, we brought Satan into the mix on this one. Like, we actually have a guy as Satan. It's an incredible Satan. It looks awesome. And with Oblivion, Oblivion was a tough shoot. It was the toughest of my entire career. It was very, very hectic. It was very bad. Constant weather problems.
Oh.
Constant safety issues with where we were filming, or where we originally shot the climax. We wanted to shoot the climax at the dam.
Yes.
And it was
Okay, I remember.
the Carbondon Dam here in Sanford is it's fine to walk on. It's fine to go around and walk around it, but there was a lot of wasps. There was a lot of rebar exposure, and the fight that we wanted to film there, we moved it to another location. A lot of script changes, a lot of actors dropped out. It was hell. It was not a fun time. It was probably the worst time I ever had making a film, to the point where I literally wanted to just quit it again. But everybody just had their heart set on finishing it. They loved it. They wanted to keep going, and we plowed through it.
Yeah, you spend so much time on it. Also, like,
yeah, the movie cost $2,500.
wait, really?
The first one was $102. The second one $208. This one cost $2,500.
That is crazy.
It went way over budget because we tried to do bigger and bigger. Because I got it in my head, I'm like, I can do this, and I couldn't do it. And a lot of the effects suffer in that movie because of my ambition. And after it was all said and done, I was like, it's not going to take a lot of time to do. It's not going to be a pain in the ass. St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
We were not supposed to shoot that.
I remember when I first met Brian Mitchell.
Yes.
He owned I Like Comics here in Sanford. And I told him what I did, and he told him, how much I loved horror movies. You got to meet Jared. And he told me about this movie called St. Patrick's Day.
Wait, so is that originally like the first time you just came to the theater afterwards?
I don't know that I had met Jared right at that time yet. I looked up St. Patrick's Day. I had told.
I figured you'd met him at the theater first. That's crazy.
I don't think I had come here yet.
No, not yet. I think I met you at a vendor's event. It wasn't Evil Dead weekend when I met you for the first time. I can't remember what it was.
No, I come here. It was a vendor's event because I remember Brian told me he was going to be here.
He definitely knew you.
Valentine's Day event. I remember that now.
He definitely knew you, Brian.
I had just gotten some My Bloody Valentine trading cards from Fright Rag.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I remember those.
He's out there sick. Because we were that was the first time me and Damon had met, and it was awesome because I was like, I feel like I've known you for forever now because of and that's the beauty about horror fans is that we are really all one big family. We all love the same thing.
As long as I'd say this with any friendship, as long as you have one core thing that you share, then you'll be good for everything else.
Horror brings the world together.
Yeah.
That's why I do a horror movie podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You could be of any kind of sect of world, but if you like horror, you're probably going to like people like horror.
It doesn't matter. Everybody dies in horror movies.
You're right.
I don't care what race you are, what sexual proclivities you like, whatever. Everybody dies.
Yeah. You get stabbed in the head.
Make a difference. So, and it was because I remember I came here with Brian. Brian, that's when Brian was like, "Oh, you got to meet Jared. Here's Jared." And that's when I met you. And that's when
It's so I do remember the first time I met you, but it is upsetting that the first time I met you was to go see Shazam: Fear of the Gods.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. It wasn't. I don't.
Look, my kids love
Shazam. Look. I had an all right time watching it. It was not the worst thing I'd ever seen, but it isn't. It is not. It's not.
Have you seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn?
Have you seen Aquaman 2?
God, enough of this shit.
Let's talk about actual cinema.
God, actual cinema.
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay,
well, let's get back on track here. So the reason why I actually wanted to come and meet Jared was because I saw St. Patrick's Day.
God, I'm sorry.
I'm not because when I watched it,
again, I still haven't seen it, but I will. I've seen it for years.
Yeah, because you sent me a link for I think Candle Smoke.
Yes.
To watch.
Yeah. That was the first one I've seen.
So,
the Candle Smoke was the first one I've seen.
It was my favorite.
Okay, look, my personal favorite.
You're skipping ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Talking about St. Patrick's Day.
I'm sorry.
St. Patrick's Day. And this is one of the reasons why I love independent cinema. Because, with Hollywood and everything coming out now, they're rehashing the same stuff over, it's part 10. It's a reboot. Let's remake this movie. Mm-hmm. When I saw St. Patrick's Day, I said, this is fresh. This is new. I like this idea. I like this. And I loved it. And it was some time later when I saw how you tied it in with Turn Back Time. I was like, dude, that was good stuff.
And it wasn't intended to be that way.
Yeah, I didn't originally.
I was just like, I just wanted to make a B-grade shitty slasher movie. Like the kind that you would find in your video store back in the day from the people at Media Home Entertainment, Vestron Video, Wizard Video, Midnight Video, all those low budget, awesome big box VHS labels.
Yes.
I loved it. And the goal was to make a movie better than Don't Go in the Woods Alone. But have that same charm, have that same B movie grade, make it laughable. Don't make it like, because a lot of times when we were filming it, the actors were just like, "Are you sure you want me to do it that way? It sounds bad." I'm like, "Yep, I wanted to be exactly how bad it was." The dubbing, I wanted it to be poor. I wanted everything about it to reek 80s B grade crap, but early 80s. There was a difference between the mid 80s and the early 80s slasher. The early 80s slasher was a lot more slower. It was padded out with just unnecessary scenes that you didn't really need. Like, why did I need to see Adrian King and Friday the 13th make dinner for like 2 hours? Like, just walking back and forth in the kitchen. Stuff like that. Just tiny little things to make it as authentic to an early 80s slasher that I could. And by the mid 80s, that's when everything started getting kind of punk rock and everybody dressing in leather jackets and the weird like collars with the spikes on them and the boom boxes.
Return of the Living Dead 2?
Yeah. That rock and roll crap doesn't fly for me. I'm sorry.
You don't like Return of the Living Dead 2?
It's good. I love Return of the Living Dead. Wait, is the first one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
sorry.
absolutely hate what the slasher genre became after 85. 85 is the cutoff for me. And I wanted to maintain that aesthetic as good as I could. And of course, we were limited in budget. That movie cost $2,300, I think, $2,300 for St. Patrick's Day, because we had to get props from the 80s. Some things we couldn't get. Some things we had to forego. A lot of scenes were on the cutting room floor. Yeah. But I think it turned out exactly as intended. And that was to make a fun, shitty slasher movie. And that was also the very first time that I got to work with Shea Breyer and Isaac Yarborough. Isaac worked with me on Oblivion, but this was like his hands were fully in the pot at this time.
Had you already met Isaac before? I mean, obviously,
I met Isaac I met both Isaac and Shea in 2017. Actually, I think I met Shea in 2016. I can't remember when they started working here. And then, of course, Isaac also started working here around that time too. And they loved Omar and they loved Oblivion. They came to every premiere. But Shea, at the time, she wasn't old enough to be in our films yet because I said I have an 18 and over rule.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
And of course, like the management team that worked here, like treated her like absolute fucking shit and fired her.
Oh.
And I did not know that she was fired. I was told that she quit.
This is before you became GM. Okay.
Yeah. And when we were doing St. Patrick's Day, I'm like, I need a good cast. And I just want to make every single cast member lovable and memorable. And Isaac was like, well, what about her? And I'm like, I haven't talked to her in over a year. I don't think that she would want to do it. And he was like, I'll reach out. I was like, okay. And she said yes. And I did not know at the time that was going to be an absolutely tremendous friendship and partnership.
Also, like, nice. Probably the most, like, the turning point in where your artistry came. Because, like, without Sky, and I don't mean this in, like, she's your, like, idol in this sense. Because she's perfect. Like, and specifically Migraine, I mean, like, we'll get to an event. Like, Migraine, she's great.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately great.
Yeah. Like, I was like, this is the answer to all of my prayers, because I needed someone talented, someone who looked the part of everything that I was aiming for, and someone who was just a loyal, absolutely wonderful friend, like the best friend. And I owe it to everyone in St. Patrick's Day to where we are now, because they were all fully on board with that movie. And it was a very fun, very hot. It was hot, but it was so hot outside. Oh, we were drenched in sweat. It was summer. It was summer of 2020.
Filmed here in Stanford, right? Oh,
yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
Yeah. So here's what happened, because I like to take a year off in between films and focus on making it the best that I could. That's why the Omar trilogy took 5 years to do. But, you know, I didn't have a job. None of us did. We were all at home because it was COVID. And we were all homebodies. We didn't go anywhere. We just stayed at home. And I was like, that's safe, right? And I was like, and then, like, you know, we were getting paid by the government on unemployment a lot. And I was like, man, we could got no job, got a bunch of random income. Nobody's doing anything. I want to do it. And I want to do it so bad because I've already got the locations, because John Felix told me that I could film at his home. That was all. So
you have a
yard.
Yeah. You have a perfect house set as well.
And my wife's friend, it was fiance at the time, Jessica, she said that her friend Laura, we could film in her home for inside shots, and outside we could do John's.
Oh,
It's crazy because they had the exact same door.
You're serious?
And I'm like,
That's perfect.
this is adding up way too well. Now, Isaac and I Isaac was scouting everywhere for locations. And we come up with a couple good ones and we came up with a couple duds. But at the end, everything worked out. And the shoot was in the summer. It was from May to October is how long it took to shoot it. And it was a fucking blast because you literally are with the best people that you could ever be on set with. And you wound up, just like the Omar trilogy, I wound up making connections and friendships that are lasted to this day and I hope forever.
Yeah.
Because this was the first time that I really felt like we could do something wonderful, like truly something different. And it worked. I think it worked.
I think it did. Like I said, that was the movie that I saw. I was like, yes, I have to meet this guy. I have to meet him.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that movie.
I feel bad because I still haven't seen it. But
Damn it, Kelvin.
the next one we can talk about.
I can't believe you didn't see.
What's wrong? Kelvin. Why are you pressing it?
Because it's a great film.
I don't like you no more.
Candle Smoke.
Handle smoke. Hot damn.
I still really, really badly want to go to this set so badly.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a,
I know.
It's a.
Wait, what? Next year?
Can't say anything.
Okay.
Can't say anything yet.
Okay.
Well, they have. You can go to that.
Yeah, you can go visit.
Yeah, but I don't want to visit.
They
Okay.
do.
I want to shoot something there.
I don't want to shoot. I just want to be
I want to go back so bad.
in the area while they're just being shot.
So this, you had sent me a link because is there legal issues with this one as well?
Nope.
No.
I had
Not
them
now.
I had them all private at the time because I was focusing on the physical media aspect,
Okay.
and I had a lot of screenings coming up, and I didn't want because if you could watch it online, what's the point of going to see it?
Yeah.
So at that
Gotcha.
time, I was kind of like hiding something. But I also took the time during that to remaster all of them. So all the versions that you currently have on DVD setting before us and all DVDs moving forward are completely remastered from the original camera negative. They look absolutely
Special
stunning.
edition content.
Yeah,
as well.
no, this is the best possible quality that you can watch the films in until we get like Blu-rays, but
Yep.
they're gorgeous remasters. The color coding is exactly how I wanted them.
I need to watch this version of Candle Smoke then because I've only seen the YouTube.
The one online is the correct one too.
Oh, really? Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Then-
I changed all of them.
Okay.
I was
then
like,
I've
I
seen
want the best
one then.
possible copy for each.
This. What was your inspiration?
Twilight Zone.
It really, yeah.
Yeah.
You had said that initially you wanted to have this in black and white.
Yes. I wanted to. So, Candle Smoke for the listeners at home is a Western horror film. It's short. St. Patrick's Day was getting turned down from festivals left and right, and I got a tip from a lot of festival people who've been successful, and they said they're not going to accept the feature because St. Patrick's Day is too long. They need something short that can fit into their time frame. And I just sat there and I thought to myself, when John Felix and his fiancee Natasha were looking for wedding venues, they wanted me and Jessica to accompany them because we were also getting married, and they thought that maybe we could use the same venues or so, just like wedding buddy stuff.
Yeah.
And we drove to Circle M City here in Sanford. It's 10 minutes away from the movie theater. And
Wait,
Yeah.
Really?
yes,
Yeah.
it is
I
10
did
minutes.
not know it was that close.
Just keep going straight.
Wait, so I can visit it? Fuck, I'm gonna go.
Keep your ass down.
Like every Monday night, they have like a music night where you can go out there and listen to old style music and everything.
Do they have like drinks and shit?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like from the set, it looks like a bar
I'll
area.
tell you something about this fucking set.
That's
This set is insanity.
look. Because I've obviously
Straight
seen the
out
film,
the
but
Old West.
in the
It is.
film, it's mostly contained to
Yeah,
one
it's
area.
Contained to one area, and I hate that. We were on a time.
No, I understand wholeheartedly. I get that.
This fucking set, it is not a set. Whatever that building says it is, that's what it fucking is.
Yeah.
If it's a bank, they got actual tills in there. If it's a jail, it's a jail. No building is just a flat front with a door on it.
Yeah.
It is exactly what the building says it is. It is fucking spectacular. I don't even understand how it's even possible.
That's why I love it still
One thing to
existing.
do.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Okay, we should
And they have horses that you can rent. That's an extra fee, but
still.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just there in awe at it because so when I saw it with John and Natasha and my wife, I was like, I'm coming back here. I don't know when, and I don't know how or where, but I have to fucking film something here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to film something here. I've always loved the Western genre to an extent, but I've always loved it, and I've always wanted to do one. But if I'm going to do it, it's got to be a horror Western because you don't see that.
Yeah.
That's such a rare genre. So that was
rare as in, like, what Western horror is there?
Exactly. Ghost Town from 87.
Never seen it. So.
What was that one that was on the other day? You had said I had seen before. That was Alien.
Oh, The Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp. That is a horrifying movie.
No, it was.
I don't think that counts in the genre.
It was 007 against the aliens.
Oh, Cowboys and Aliens?
Yeah.
That's not a horror movie, though.
Well, aliens kind of fit into a subgenre of horror.
I don't know. I feel like it's more action-y than anything, but I can see what you mean. There's horrifying aspects.
Watching it that night. I knew we watched it.
It's nothing. God. It's nothing amazing.
Well, I like him as James Bond, and who doesn't like aliens? And then aliens and cowboys. Come on.
You know what's better though? Cowboys and a ghost girl.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, that was 2017, and at that time we were working on O World, so we did O World, Oblivion, St. Patrick's Day, and after getting turned down constantly from festivals for St. Patrick's Day, I'm like, I'm going to do a short. I can do it in a day. I could do it in a fucking day. And everyone's like, you're fucking crazy. And like I was like, yeah, I am. And I will fucking do it. So I sat down and I worked on the script for 2 weeks. And I love Twilight Zone with all my heart. It is my favorite fucking show. Even to this day, it is my favorite show. Anything after the original 50, 60 show, shit.
Oh yeah.
Nothing to do with
it. I never wanted to watch that Jordan Peele it didn't seem interesting. I never did.
Never did.
No, me neither.
You can't replicate
it. Well, here's the thing. You can, because Black Mirror.
Well, that's different. I think.
No, it is. It's definitely a different idea.
Black Mirror was really futuristic in a lot of senses there.
You can do your own thing, but when you slap Twilight Zone on something,
you're right. Yeah.
Nothing ever looked, felt, or even sounded.
You're right.
Rod Serling, dude. I mean,
and I wanted to replicate that. I wanted to prove to the world that I can make a legitimate Twilight Zone episode, even though it was only going to be 7 minutes tops. I was like, 10 minutes is my limit for this because it cost a fortune to rent this place.
Yeah.
And it's also, we don't have that much time because I was only allowed to do it for 1 day. He cut me a deal in cash. I had to pay in cash. I used my entire tax refund to film that movie. I did not want to because I had bills, but my wife saw how much it meant to me, and she said, you got to do it, because she loved the script.
Jessica's an amazing woman.
And that night, yes, she is. That night, I literally thought to myself, I got to get the team together. So I called up Isaac, I called up Jessica, and I reached out to Shay, and I said, there's 2 roles here. And you impressed me so much in St. Patrick's Day. Like, I can't even begin to describe to you how grateful I am. I want you involved with this, but I want you to pick what character you want. You can either be the lead or you can be the ghost. And without hesitation, it was the ghost.
The ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we went through the script and we're like, okay, that's perfect. And everybody loved the script. Everybody loved everything about it. I got almost everyone here from work. I was like, I need cowboys. I want a bunch of people. I want a huge ensemble cast. Every single cast member for St. Patrick's Day is in Candle Smoke. And everybody here was in it except for like 2 or 3 people because they had to work. Yeah. And that was fine because they were like, we're new. We just got hired. So we don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Wait, is that who I think it is, one of the people? Or is it no? Wait, no. Never mind. Joe was doing makeup at this time.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No, never mind.
So at this time, I met the absolute spectacular Jillian Symes because her boyfriend used to work here, and she started working here along with them, and she told me that she did special effects makeup, and I was like, you do what now?
Hold on, what?
Her work, and I was blown the fuck away. I mean, you're talking about, at the time, I think she was like 21. And
wait.
Yes, no, she was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
she was 21 at the time, and she's showing me all these incredible pictures, and I'm like, you're 21 and you can do work like this? This shit looks like someone that has been doing it for centuries. Your shit is good.
Yeah.
And she always doubts herself. But I was like, shut up.
It's in Jill's character, but like, did we all tell her to shut up? Because
So what had happened on Candle Smoke set was every one of us gets there and we're like, all right, let's do it. Let's do this thing. And everyone said, and this was the biggest, like, this was amazing to us. Everyone was like, so Jared, did you get costumes for everyone? And I said, no. And they're like, what do you mean? This is like a Wild West film. We got to have costumes. Just you wait until you see what came with the rental film.
Yeah.
An entire massive wardrobe the size of this studio with clothes and boots and hats and weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to pay for any of it to use. It was like it was like a gift, and we spent like 3 hours just like trying to find the perfect outfit for everybody, and everyone was having so much fun. We had pizza.
Man,
we had people like dressing up in costume. So many changes were done.
One of my favorite behind the scenes pictures is just Sky eating one of the slices of pizza blind because the context of her as a ghost.
The ghost, I wanted it to look absolutely.
Yes, it has the Sam Raimi effect, which is what I love so much.
Yeah,
it was definitely it's so good. It's so good.
I wanted white eyes. I wanted something absolutely soulless.
Yeah,
and I told her too. I was like, you're gonna have to paint your entire body with white paint because I want it to look like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm gonna shoot this, you are going to look horrifying. And unfortunately, there was one shot that was on the cutting room floor that I really wanted. My hand, I have not a rare form. I have a mild form of Parkinson's, and it's developed further as I've gotten older. But like, I can't hold camera straight anymore. And at the time, it was developing, and I moved the camera and I tilted it, and it ruined the shot, and I couldn't use it. But that's okay because I think the candle smoke at the time was the best thing that we'd ever done. We got there at 2 p.m. and we finished up exactly at midnight on the dot. Was the last shot that we took. It was amazing. Jill's makeup work was great.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had a fun time. Isaac threw up because he got drunk.
Yep.
It was just, I wish that I could relive that day every single day.
I no lie, like, because you have a secret media server kind of thing. It's what site that you can see kind of behind the scenes photos and stuff.
Oh, they're magnificent. We have hundreds of photos taken from behind the scenes.
And I've never felt more like FOMO. FOMO. Than seeing those candle smoke photos because it seemed like such a fucking lifetime.
It was something that it was just luck.
Yeah.
It was pure luck. I don't think even to this day that I deserve to be there.
It's kind of crazy too because if you hadn't met Jessica, you kind of would never have gone there because you wouldn't have gotten through the you wouldn't have, exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
The owner is incredible. Like I'm so grateful for him to cut me that deal because I've seen the prices and I'm like, man, even now, because I want to go back. I want to do more shorts there. We had the idea of everyone in the bar has their own story. Yeah.
Oh, so you get to points where they meet there.
Yeah. Have several little.
That
stories.
Is great.
And we will be doing that very soon. I can't say what, and I can't say what it's about, but I will say that it was so much fun that, I'm not trying to replicate that same day, but I hope it goes just as well.
Yeah.
Because, man, what a time.
Okay.
I need to watch that again.
I think that's the one I've seen at least twice. Actually, no, I've seen Rosemary and Sage 2 twice, and I've seen that one twice.
So Rosemary, that brings us to something a little bit different. Rosemary and Sage, Race Against Time, and it's not Time.
It's time is in the herb.
Rosemary, the herb, time is in the herb, Sage. What?
Oh, I was
Where'd
high
this
as
come
fuck.
from?
I was high as fuck. I wanted to do something. I love cop films. I hate cops, but I love cop films.
I don't look
bashing.
No. It's me not either because I don't. There are plenty of cops that I know as people that I like, but
just to let you know, the police force are the teeth of the state.
Yes.
They enforce laws, whether the laws are corrupt or not. They have to enforce.
Also, they make up their own bullshit for laws, but that's besides the point.
This is beside. But basically, I love cop films. My favorite comedy of all time is Beverly Hills Cop.
Wow!
Yeah,
I thought we were going to talk about Lethal Weapon. Okay.
I fucking hate Lethal Weapon with all my heart.
Wait, what?
Yep.
I will say I've never seen any of them, so I can't say anything about it.
I
fucking love Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah,
and I love the second one even more. I think the second one's better. I know that's controversial opinion.
How do you feel about that new one?
We don't talk about the third, but when the new one comes out this year, and let me tell you, I'm fucking excited.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen the trailer, so I've no.
It's like crap, but I don't care.
And again, I've only ever seen the first one.
I love Blue Steel. I love there's so many to name, so many cop films to name. But I wanted to do a cop film. I wanted to do an action film. We've already done horror. We've done comedy. I haven't touched action yet. Haven't done it. Candle Smoke kind of counts in a way. There's a little bit of action there, but not too much.
Yeah.
Got one hell of a headshot.
Yes.
But Rosemary and Sage, I was high as fuck when I came up with that title. Because I was like, Rosemary and Sage is Race Against Time. I was like, that'd be a good cop film. And I was like, and my wife was like, but what if they were lesbians? scenes, and I was like, oh fuck, that's badass. Like, number one, anytime you see a female driven film, is they have terrible writers because the writers are men. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And when you see a cop film, it's probably bad because it's just all this, it's this hero macho bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't think that even today, I still don't think, and of course, like, you know, just personally speaking, I don't think that there's enough good representation out there. It's always a coming out of the closet story. It is never just the way it is.
It's never just them living as,
and it's never natural. It's always forced or fed in there.
This is one of the things that I have told you for I don't know how long, is that whenever they do like the gay and lesbian representation in movies, it's always, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, what does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. Why can't they just be who they are?
Well, yeah.
And that's why I've told him this for years. It's like, and that's what bothers me with movies is that you can't have a gay that defines them at that moment.
Exactly. I don't want them to be just the gay people.
Yeah,
I want them to be real characters.
Have them be real characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, you know, you have a police officer who is black, but that because he's a black police officer, him being black doesn't define him.
Exactly.
He's a police officer.
Exactly.
So why can't you have a gay or a lesbian couple or a person or whatever? That's what they do, but they are this is what they do. That doesn't define them.
No. And I wanted to and of course, because like I am not a lesbian or a female, I got everyone who worked here that was, whether they were gay, bisexual, whatever they identified as, I wanted them involved with the story process. I wanted to make sure that whatever I made, that it was a great representation and it was never offensive.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a perfect film for that community. And we all got together.
Perfectly well without it being without it being over expositive, without it being over like you said, it is just part of the story. It's part of who they are, but like it's not who they are.
And I thought to myself the whole time making, and I'm like, I really think that we're going to pull this off. I because like after everything we've done, and this movie was really hyped up. It had a huge marketing push. It was.
I remember when I first came here, I still saw the posters for it, still like the banners.
It was a huge success. I don't think a lot of people don't like it at all. There's a lot of 1-star letterbox reviews.
Are you serious?
That's because they don't get it. Just like St. Patrick's Day, they don't get it. They're like, oh, this is bad. It's supposed to be.
Well, it's not even like it's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be set in a certain amount of like a cheesy idea of film where like it's not supposed to, like, again, you're working with a budget.
Yeah.
So you really can't shoot for not the stars. You can't shoot for some extreme idea.
No.
You have to shoot for what you can make. And what you can make is an awesome, funny buddy cop film that turns to a lover film. Like, it's great for what it is. It's awesome.
I wanted everyone I knew involved with this.
And it's so crazy, too, because, like, I look at the poster, I'm like, I know every single person on that. Well, minus one person. But I know every single, everyone else.
I saw that, and even on Turn Back Time, or the Turn Back Time, the next one, I started walking around here, I'm like, I had never put, to that point, I had never put the people that I was seeing in these movies I was seeing them all the time when I came here, too.
Because they're people who love the art and are passionate about it, and finding that is so rare. I'm truly blessed to have a group of friends that are so into this. Like, it took 20 years of filmmaking experience to get to where I am, all because of the support and love that I have from everyone here.
Yeah.
I could not have done it without them. None of this would have been possible.
Which is crazy because we're just a small, but like even as a whole, like we're just simple theater. That's all we are. But like you guys developed such a huge thing.
This was also the first time that Shay had a leading role.
Yes, yeah, that is true.
This is Jill's first time on camera, and it was funny because John, Felix, and Natasha, they were the villains in the Omar trilogy, and like I said, Oblivion burned all us out, and I didn't hit them back up for St. Patrick's Day, mainly because they were a little too old for the cast that I was looking for, but also because it was COVID, and we were just they were trying to be safe, and I understand that. And with Candle Smoke, they didn't get to participate either because there was a gas crisis at the time, and nobody could get gas, and it was really rough. So they couldn't make it out because they lived pretty far away. And during Rosemary and Sage, they were reading the script because I consider John Felix and Tasha are my executive producers on everything. Everything I do goes through them as well. I have like this little committee of like all the original Spring Lane studios. Like when we first started this like indie company, I consult them about everything that I do because I never want anyone to feel like they're left out, and I want them to be a part of the team because. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. We wouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So I want to make sure that they are always included. And after they read it, they were like, "Can we be in this?" I was like, "I don't have roles for you. We'll make them ourselves. We're going to be in this movie."
Wait, so you're telling me that John came up with the accent? He decided.
John and Tasha both came up with their characters because originally we just had a singular villain in the shadows. Like you never saw who was like a Dr. Claw type villain.
Okay.
And they were like, "It's got to be a team. It's got to be a team of terrorists." And they got to take them down. And I'm like, okay, all right, I like where I'm going. And Junior, you know, he was the third member of Time. And he's like, I want to be part of this too. And I just got a car, and I want to put the car in it. And then John Felix literally was like, I have that Bumblebee.
I have Bumblebee. Yeah.
I always wanted Bumblebee to be in a film, and this is it. And I'm like, are you sure? We're doing it. And I'm like, okay,
all right, it's it.
And I'm glad because I don't think the movie would have worked without them because you had the team of people who were the good guys, and you had a team of bad guys.
That they just played cutting so well. Cutting back to John is any bit with John in the movie is some of my favorite content in the film. And it's not that he's like, because compared to the Omar, his character is much more subtle. It's literally just a guy running around trying to save his girlfriend. But this one, it's just this hilarious character. So remember the Game Boy.
Everyone has
he has a Cockney accent. Like it's beautiful.
Everyone felt like they were doing something great here, and I really wanted everyone to have a substantial role, even if they were just in the background for a second. I wanted it to be memorable for them.
Yes.
Biggest that was a cast and crew of 31 people.
And that's crazy. Consider how long Ben's character, the mayor, how long is he in the movie in the first one?
Probably about roughly 5 minutes.
Because he becomes such a bigger character than the second one.
Such a popular character. See,
because he's great.
There was a lot of criticism with Rosemary and Sage, not because of the content, but because of like a lot of people said that the camera was too shaky. Sorry, I have Parkinson's. Everyone, they were like, the camera might be too shaky, but that's what I was going for. I was going for a more like handheld guerrilla type of like film for it because I really wanted it to feel like you were there in the action.
Yeah.
Even though the action is like, you know, it's not like the best action, but like we pulled off that car chase scene.
It also becomes like N2. Oh my God, we'll get there.
But. Oh yeah. But I took all the criticisms that I got from the first one. A lot of people were like, oh, I thought it was going to be a little bit more serious. Oh, I thought that the camera shakes too much. The audio is a little rough. Because, you know, at the time I didn't have a mic. We just used the in-camera audio.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for all the films before Rosemary and Sage. But I had some ideas on what we wanted to do after it. And I came up to Shay and I said, all right, I have 3 films that I have in mind that I want to do. And you get to pick. Because at that time we were in it for life. We were so close. We're homies now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're literally like the saving grace of this entire company because not only are you best actress that I've ever had the privilege of working with. And that does not slide against anyone because I love, I have not talked about my friend Raven a lot in this, but I love her with all my heart. And she was one of the stepping stones in getting us to be the success that we are today.
She's absolutely spectacular in Candle Smoke and in the Omar trilogy as well. But
yep. And I wanted her, it was funny because Rosemary and Sage, I really wanted her to be the villain because she's never played a villain. Yeah. And I was like, I need you for this. And she was like, okay.
And it plays so well too.
She does. I love her.
Legitimately, the first time I watched it, I didn't know the twist with the villain. I didn't pick it up. And it's so good. It's like, it's such a simple twist. Yeah. But you don't, I legitimately, I just didn't, and it's not even like, I feel bad saying it, but I just didn't think this movie was going to do that. I didn't think it was
going to be unexpected.
I didn't think it was going to pull some shit like that. And I was like, oh shit, the captain, you know.
I thought about, I'm like, look, you know, I mean, we can have a fun movie, but what if we actually, the key to success of Rosemary and Sage was 2 things. And that's the thing that a lot of people, even on the bad reviews, they gave it praise for a twist that you didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And B, the violence, the gore is ridiculous. And people are like, I winced. I gave it a star rating, but I winced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take it. So I took.
You had a reaction. You had a physical reaction to the film, which is amazing.
Of course. And sorry, I got to mention this. I got to shout out to James McLean.
Oh my God, James
and E-Man.
It has I remember listening to the first time. I listened to the soundtrack, and I thought it was a produced song that was like big, because I was like, I never heard of this. But this must be like by like A$AP Rocky or something. I was like, no, that's James. You know, the guy you've met and worked with. I was like, wait, what?
James is a local musician here in town, and not only that, he's incredible.
I still have yet to see him live. It's so upsetting because I've had
fucking incredible.
I've had multiple times to try to get him to set up live, but it's just, you know, scheduling conflicts. I get it. He's busy. He's a busy man.
But I wanted to mention James because that was the first time we ever did an original song for a film. We'd had original music done by very talented people like Alex Meredith, Alex Everhart. Carl Casey did the soundtrack for St. Patrick's Day.
But not a song.
Not a song. And I was like, this is the perfect movie to have a song, because this was going to be our first feature. Everything else is like under 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to like make it an experience. I wanted it to be action, I wanted it to be romance, I wanted it to be comedy, and I wanted a song. And I come up to James, I was like, what can I do to get you to make a song for us? He was like, I'll try it out. And I thought he forgot about it because we didn't talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
And him and E-Man come into the studio and he's like, do you have a minute? I was like, I've got several for you. And he comes in and he sets his phone down. He's like, I want you to listen to this. And it blew me the fuck up.
Was this in the office? Oh, in here. Okay.
And the whole time I'm just like, I wanted to scream and like jump up and down and like get I was biting my fist. And I was like, I've got to have it. It's incredible.
Yes.
And
I'll play the song for you later, but it really is a great song.
And I was like, this is going to be a hit. This movie's going to be a fucking hit. Whether or not people love it or not, it's going to make good on numbers. And it's our most successful film.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And after it was all said and done, we had one hell of a premiere and it was amazing. Like I said, I sat Shay down and I said, what do you want to do next? And she held up two fingers. She said, let's do a sequel. And I'm like, okay. Because
had you planned on doing a sequel the whole time?
I did not plan to do a sequel. Yeah, no. I wanted to do a sequel because we had a lot of fun doing it. We had so much fun. All the shoots ever since I've had Shay in my life have been nothing but positive and easygoing because I've got a committed team.
You also, like, with you have a committed partner as well. Like, because I don't doubt that there will be anything that she will say no to. Like, 100%.
She's incredible. The whole and that goes for everybody.
Yeah, that is, yeah. No, 100%.
Once you work on a film with me, it's like, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but everybody just wants to do it now. It's like, everyone, what's next? What can I do to help? And I love that. I'm
again,
like, finally.
I hope at some point I can join for the next one, but not in acting. Okay, I'm not an actor.
Shut up, Kelvin.
Sorry, I'm not an actor.
Shut up, Kelvin, you're acting.
I'm not. I don't have that. I don't have that class. It's just not part of me.
No, it's happening.
But
shut up, Kelvin. You're acting. That's all there is to it.
You're going to be a Mexican cowboy.
Why Mexican? All right. Look, I have the mustache. I get that. All right. I get that. I'll be Puerto Rican
from outer space.
It's from my nationality. I represent.
Shut up, Kelvin. You're doing it. But
Turn Back Time.
Turn Back Time is the next one on the list.
So this is. I feel like we'll get to Migraine, but this is the film I feel like I have the most connection with because it is the one I premiered with. It is the one I went to.
You were also here during almost its entire production.
Yes, I was there for. I was
in and out of the studio.
Yes, I was there for the penis cut. I was there for all.
But this is the one that actually ties back directly into.
Yes, and it's
St. Patrick's Day.
It's what makes it a universe.
So that was not planned.
Yes,
none of that was planned. So basically, we were almost done with the first Rosemary stage. We were almost done with it, and that's of course when I went up to Shay and I was like, "What do you want to do?" And she said, "I want to do a sequel," and I'm like, "Okay." And personally, I was ready to do a sequel. I would love to do a sequel, but I just didn't have any ideas, and I was doubting myself. I was like, I don't think I could do another one of these and successfully pull it off because I think everything that we wanted to do was accomplished in the first one, and there were elements of the story that were not in the first one. There was a lot of things we had to cut for time for the first one, such as the mayor having a bodyguard that could not keep his hands off him because the mayor is very homophobic. And it's like, how great would it be? But it wasn't a way to where like the bodyguard was just like, he can't take no for an answer. And that's even worse for him.
Yeah.
I just want the mayor's life to be a living hell. And
we get to that at the end of Turn Back Time.
Donnie Lester, who worked on the first film. They played bartender Basil, but they also helped write the first film with me because they wanted to be represented in a way that benefited the LGBTQ community as well. Fucking phenomenal person.
Like,
and
quite literally probably the first friend besides Jared I made here.
Yeah, incredible. And I really wanted that aspect. And they were so happy when I said, hey, you remember the idea that we had to cut for time for the first one? I'm going to bring it into the second one. And they were like, fuck yes. And I was like, oh, you'll see. But so what had happened was after we made the decision to move forward with a sequel midway through the first film, I sat there and pondered and I said, how great would it be if we somehow pulled a Marvel, we pulled a Kevin Smith, because I didn't want to do this, because I didn't want to be that guy. But I was like, everyone's been begging for a St. Patrick's Day sequel. Everyone is really on board with a sequel to Rosemary and Sage. What if I just put the two together and combined it? Because I could not come up with a story for St. Patrick's Day 2 at all.
Yeah.
It just wasn't in the cards. And after we were done with the film, the first Rosemary and Sage, I said, Jill and Ben, I want you to meet me here at the theater later tonight. Wear the clothes that you did in the film and don't tell anybody that you're here. Ben said, okay. And I set them down and I handed them a script for an after credit scene for Rosemary and Sage.
Oh my, okay.
They had no idea. And that secret was kept all the way up until the film came out. Like, the audience, like, saw that for
you pulled an end game.
I was like, so I can't come up with the sequel for St. Patrick's Day, but what if I just said that, because at the end of St. Patrick's Day, spoilers, the killer was not caught. The killer got away with it. Mm-hmm. So what's been happening in between this time? The killer's still out there, and people are still baffled of, like, how this happened. So what if Rosemary and Sage tried to solve these murders?
What if they got the case file?
What if they did it? And we tied everything in together, and we gave not only everybody a sequel to what they want, which is Rosemary and Sage, and a sequel to St. Patrick's Day all in one.
Mm-hmm.
And and when everybody saw the after credit scene, and I have it recorded, it will be on the Blu-rays, the audience reactions, because they were all fans there, they shit.
It is a great post-credit scene.
Because they were like, there's no way that this is going to happen. How the fuck are you going to tie this in? What is going on? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't write the fucking but I will come up with it. I will figure something out. I will come up with these ideas to connect it all together, because I want to take every criticism that we got for the first Rosemary and Sage, and I want to make it better. I want to make it smoother. I want to make the story better. I want to make the acting better. I want to make the action better, and I want to make it the best fucking thing that I've ever made. That was my goal going in, is I wanted to wow everybody about how mature and professional it was. And we did.
Yeah.
Because it is fucking fantastic.
At that point, I mean, I think I told you afterwards. I'm pretty sure I was like, because
yeah, you were blown away.
Besides St. Patrick's Day, because that's the one I hadn't seen, I was like, this is legitimately the best one you've ever made.
I had so many text messages like the following day about, I don't know how the fuck you pulled this off, but you made a better sequel.
Yeah.
Sequels always fail. This one was way better.
It is great. I think it's
all the shit talking.
It has, and I give it credit to you, but I also give it credit to all the crew, because legitimately everybody in the cast fucking excels. I want to give a special credit because there's such side characters in the film.
Oh yeah, the side characters are what makes these films, man.
Dude, Antonio, Bristol, and Isaac, all their characters, they mesh well so together because they're the ones in that main police station area. Yeah. But it's so funny, all the like specifically with Isaac and Antonio, all their banter, like it literally, it feels like a buddy cop, like it feels like another buddy cop film within a buddy cop film. It's so good. It's so good.
So I wanted to take every cop film that I loved and did that. Like I wanted the mayor to have heart problems, and I wanted him to be hit on with it because that was a concept we didn't get.
Which, by the way, caused Ben to have, I don't know if he had actual heart problems, but he had issues with
this motherfucker. I said, Tez, buy things that aren't pills, and he buys actual fucking pills and puts them in water and puts the shit in his fucking mouth. And he was like, yeah, my tongue's kind of numb. I'm like,
yeah, no shit, Ben.
You fucking think? But he said he wanted to sell it. He was like, it's got to be authentic. If this is going to be our best movie, I'm going to commit, but I won't swallow it. But he still kind of fucked him up, made his stomach hurt a little bit because some of that got in the system.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted to say, one of my all-time favorite films Oh my God, I love it with all my heart. Every time I think about it, it's Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh, yeah.
Carpenter's absolute biggest and best achievement in the world. I love Carpenter, but he never even came close.
I've never seen it.
We will do it for a movie night.
Yay!
And
Can we do it soon?
yes.
Okay.
The relationship between Antonio and Crystal in that film was a direct reference to the relationship that Napoleon and the female lead in Assault on Precinct 13 had. There was a lot of chemistry in there. It was unspoken chemistry, and I wanted that. I was like, I love this concept. I want to add that into the film.
Because it does work really well.
It worked very well.
Yes.
And I was like, how do we get Crystal back into the mix? And then I was like, man, wouldn't it be great if the opening was literally just her arrest? And everyone's like, whoa, what's happening? You know, it's like, because you see the first one, you're like, oh, okay. And then
she's like the random side character that pops up just for the help. Yeah. Because they need it for the plot.
And everyone's
but
like,
then she comes back in the plot in a great way.
Yeah. Everything just meshed well. And while we were filming it, I was like, okay, so in the film, in St. Patrick's Day, one of the characters has a Betamax camcorder, which is actually currently on display up here. And they record the party because, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're having a party. I'm going to relive this night, whatever. We never go back to that tape. That tape is still in that camera, the whole movie. And we never go back to that camera. And I thought to myself, I was like, how genius would it be if so basically the killer of St. Patrick's Day wound up like within this span from turn back time, literally wound up like having a kid and living a recluse or whatever, and like never leaving the house. And Parker Parsley in the first Rosemary and Sage was played by my very beautiful and dear friend Haley Jensen, who also wound up marrying my friend Tyler. Congratulations to them. And Haley always wanted to do a sequel to St. Patrick's Day too, and I was like, I just don't have a story for it quite yet. So when I told her the concept of this, she jumped on board. She was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And basically, I wanted John Felix was reading the script, and he said, I don't feel like Rosemary's character has a personal beef with or a personal connection to the villain, which would be the Shamrock Slasher from St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, okay, thought. Remember in the first Rosemary and Sage, where Rosemary says that she never got along with her parents, and neither did Parker Parsley, because Parker Parsley's mom was a really big piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's the same actress. So what if they were just mother and daughter? And we just put age makeup on Haley for St. Patrick's Day since it takes place 40 years later. And there's your personal connection. Because Rosemary absolutely fucking hates this woman, but because she's literally the only thing of Parsley that's left, that she wants to connect with her and see if they can find some sort of common ground.
You can't, but you know.
She was like, nope, don't like gays, don't like that. And I'm like, I just wanted to make her the worst person. And because she's already sucked. I mean, she doesn't suck. But St. Patrick's Day, you're kind of rooting for her, and then in here, you're just like, oh my God, you're actually a horrible person. And so because we were trying to figure out, well, what kind of evidence do we have against her? Because I mean, literally, she pinned it all on like somebody else, and you know, even though the case is still open and there's a lot of questions, no one could pin this on her. There has to be some sort of evidence. And I literally stood up when I was talking to my wife about it. I said, holy shit, we never went back to the Betamax tape. What if she took the tape and hid it away somewhere? And that has literal evidence of not only her killing everyone, but you see the party and everything that happened that night. Yeah. And there you go. So that's what goes down. That's the tape is the MacGuffin.
It is the goober.
It is literally what everybody's looking for in this fucking film. And of course, a lot more Assault on Precinct 13 stuff like was tied into it as well, like the whole police station getting shut down and like they're under attack. And I was like, okay, so how do we get from point A to point B here? And I was like, well, they still have the tape. So what if at the end the Shamrock Slasher literally like breaks into the police station, cuts the power, and literally goes to town on everybody in the station? Yeah. And it was so much fun.
It's also the David cameo, which is so funny. He's in there.
David cameo. I was just, but the other thing too is midway through production, the beta tape, we were just like, well, how do they play it as a beta tape? Originally, so there's a robot character in Turn Back Time named Alan, and originally he was going to digitize the tape. It was funny because my wife was like, we don't need a fucking robot character in this movie. Don't you fucking dare. And I was like,
but look at him.
He went, oh my God, that is the cutest fucking toy I've ever seen.
It's Wall-E, but with a hat.
What do we name him? And she went, Al. Like, all right. No, he's tremendous. He has such a cult.
I need the
it's still-
T-shirt. I need the T-shirt.
T-shirts next month.
Yes.
But Alan was supposed to digitize the tape, and I said, "Yeah, this movie is a celebration of the past, is it not? Are we not connecting movies? What if we took it one step further and had them go to Omart to buy a beta player?"
Mm-hmm.
So I got Omar back.
And we get Lucas as well. Lucas cameo.
I tried to get Hooker back, but he unfortunately got into a car wreck that morning and could not make it.
Yes. That
I had plot lines for the fourth Omar, which I have not made yet and probably never will, unfortunately. It's just timing and stuff. But I had like a plot line added into it. So if I ever did go into it, like I just, there's just little snippets in there to set up another one if I needed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we really just wanted to take everything that we built upon from Omar to Candle Smoke to everything, and I just wanted to put it all in Turn Back Time.
And did it so well. Did it so
Candle Smoke's the only thing we didn't reference yet, but I have plans for that. Don't you worry.
Good. I was just going to say that. The only one that's not tied in there is Candle Smoke.
Not yet.
I don't know. Okay, maybe it will be, but I feel like...
When the mics are off, I will tell you all my idea now.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm not going to... Okay.
Because let me tell you,
I haven't...
drugs are my favorite thing, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And I will also say that if it wasn't for that we wouldn't have gotten all these wonderful films. So,
Yeah.
so much. Thank
420,
you.
baby.
Indeed.
See, I just hit my moonshine a little bit more.
Gonna need it.
There's some more s'mores there if you want some.
Jesus Christ. Twist my arm, why don't you?
Thank you to Uncle Moonshine for that tasty s'mores.
Oh, I'm gonna take a good shot out of that. I already feel tingly.
If I had a glass, I would take a sip, but
Shut
maybe
up.
not.
Shut up. You're not selling the product, right?
Dude, there's all kinds of...
Sell the product.
This is probably dust. I don't...
Blow it out.
Kelvin, if you don't sell the damn product,
This is 100 proof. Rinse it out.
sell the product. Let's talk about it, Kelvin. How's it taste?
I mean, look,
Shut up, Kelvin.
Rinse it around.
Actually, I don't think we recorded this. We recorded this last time when I tried it. I tried both of these.
Try it now.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking talking and drinking, dude.
Yeah, the root beer is so delicious.
Shut up, Kelvin.
100 proof. Thank you, Uncle
S'mores
Moonshine.
is still my favorite, but yeah, it is delicious. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of s'mores.
Drink this because it is absolutely phenomenal.
I told you.
Cheers.
Cheers
Hold on.
to indie filmmaking.
Yes.
And friendships
And can I,
and relationships.
before we get into the next film,
Oh,
because we
okay.
will get there, can I speak on indie filmmaking as a whole?
Please, absolutely.
No, you cannot. Anyway.
And why, Kelvin? That's
Okay, let's go.
in the sense that I think sadly,
What you want to tell me? Say it.
indie filmmaking
Say it.
is dying, and that's why I think Jared, you are so essential. Because
I agree.
it is
I don't think...
no. Listen to me, please.
I'll listen, but I'm going to prove you wrong. Because the name of this podcast is called Guess What? You're Wrong. And pretty soon here, guess what? I'm going to prove you wrong.
I'm not saying it's dying. I'm not saying it's dying as an art
That's what
form.
you just said.
Okay, sorry. I'm saying the attraction to it is dying. I think the masses want the repetition. Sorry. They want the same thing over and over again. They want and I understand the box office doesn't 100% like provide, but like think about it, like what Aquaman 2 made, which was absolute shit film. An absolute shit film compared to Migraine. Absolute shit. Made nowhere near the money. And obviously it's because studios, but think about that. Think about like all the money that went towards Aquaman 2 and it was absolute shit, and the money that went towards Migraine, which was very little, made an actual product. Made something that was worth watching.
All right. Well, you're splicing two. You first you say that indie film is dying, and then you go in to reference Aquaman 2, which is nowhere near an indie film. So,
You're right, but
so
it was
saying
a big sold studio thing.
In my position as a horror movie podcaster, I have been put in a very, very unique situation where I have been able to meet and talk with and discuss a lot of independent filmmakers. And I do not, I mean, it's all independent horror. I do not think that independent horror is on the downfall.
Oh, I'm not saying that
I
it's
think
on the
that
downfall of being made. I'm saying it's in the downfall of being appreciated. I'm saying that people do not view something that isn't.
Well, no, you're talking about two different types of people here, though. You're talking about the normies out there that want everything that Disney puts out.
That's what I'm saying. The normies back then. The normies back when you were okay. Look, when you were a child, when you were 4 watching Toy Story, when you were like 8 watching Evil Dead, you were a normie. You were a normie, but whatever you watch, you took in what it was and you appreciate it for what it was. That's why you love Evil Dead. That's why you love Toy Story. But like nowadays, people can't view something without it being like, oh, okay, it isn't immediately what I know, so thus it is bad, or thus it isn't worth watching.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, is that the majority? Yeah,
That is the majority, and that's what's sad.
But I wouldn't say that. I think in my personal opinion, I think the especially independent horror filmmaking is on a rise.
You're right, because there's stuff as like
people out there that are looking for something different.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to horror. The horror fan they're tired of seeing the same thing regurgitated over and over. I mean, I love Evil Dead. I love Jason Voorhees. I love Freddy Krueger. And anytime they put one out, I'll see it.
Yeah.
But you have all these remakes coming out, these reboots. They tried to reboot Friday the 13th. It sucked.
And Nightmare on Elm Street. Jesus Christ.
About that.
You know,
we want near that.
You know, it's terrible. You know, and this is what I think me, along with a lot of other people out there, especially people on the con scene, they're starting to realize that the original ideas that are coming out of the independent film industry, and they're getting more and more interested in that. And now I see what you're saying, Kelvin, because from working in a movie theater, seeing these big box office blockbusters to come out,
makes me angry.
They spent hundreds of $millions on them, and
because
they go
it's
nowhere.
shit product. And it's like
this is one of the things that I don't like.
You could give me.
Don't preach to me about something. Tell me a story.
Yeah,
I want to be entertained. If I'm watching something for a half an hour, or if I'm watching something for 2 hours, don't make it a political statement to me. Don't preach to me. I want to be entertained. Tell me a story. And this is one of the reasons why I appreciated all your movies, is because you're telling a story.
That's what I want to do. Story matters more than anything.
Yes.
Even though there are
the most essential part.
Even though there are aspects of other things in those stories,
just like every other movie,
it's life.
Yeah.
You're not beating you over the head with this.
No.
You're telling a story, and that brings me to Migraine. This movie is your most recent movie, and I got to tell you, I'm almost not going to everything. I'm getting excited about this. I love this movie.
You really do?
I loved it.
It is okay. Look, I think Migraine might be the best film you've ever made. The best film.
Without a doubt.
Turn Back Time is my still personal favorite because of the time it was made, because of where it was at there.
Oh yeah.
Because of it's as if you were part of it was being part of it. Like that's why I love it. But
of course,
Migraine is special because it became a step above of all five, or no, I say five because the trilogy. I count the trilogy as one. But
of course,
yeah, it's
and also kept everybody out too.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah. Because I literally I had the script at the office, but I never printed the ending.
Yeah,
it was it ended so early into the script, and everyone's like, "Wait, is the script done?" I was like, "I knew you'd read it, so that's why I didn't have the ending in there."
I never read it because I didn't want to be spoiled. I just wanted to enjoy the film.
I wanted to do this film so bad. I've been wanting to do this film since I was 15. I wrote it as an Elm Street fan fiction.
Okay,
I love Freddy Krueger.
Yes, you do.
My absolute favorite horror icon. It was my gateway into horror.
He's the best horror icon. He's the best.
Twilight Zone and Goosebumps I grew up on.
Oh, look, shut up, Jason fan over here, all right?
It's just, I loved Freddy, and I loved Italian horror. It was crazy, because I was really getting into horror in my teenage years, and Elm Street spoke to me more than anything because I loved how creative the story was. I loved the special effects.
It's something so horrifying, too.
And it's just such a well-acted film. Can't say the same.
Robert Englund is...
Yeah.
Hey, man, 3's fun.
3's great.
3's fun.
My favorite. We all know everybody's favorite is...
Yeah. Oh, no, my favorite's still
Dream Warriors.
Personally.
Shut up, Kelvin.
Should I start singing Dream Warriors? Dawkins.
It's the only good Johnny Depp film. Is the first
That's
time
not true.
That's not true at all.
I'm not a big Johnny Depp fan.
Shut up, Kelvin.
That's just me personally. I'm sorry.
I need to shut up, Kelvin counter. Anytime
the button.
Anytime anyone at home is listening to this and I say shut up, Kelvin, you got to take a drink.
You're gonna be dead. You are gonna be dead.
Absolutely.
Damn.
I love Kelvin, by the way.
Yes, I know. That's why I feel like offense. Yeah.
He's so hot.
It is.
I wish you guys could see what he looks like.
His hair is...
Oh my!
I don't like his hair, but he's all right.
I love
Look,
everything about
it's been a personal thing with him our entire life. My hair's beautiful. He views it the opposite.
Shut up, Kelvin.
I like short hair.
Yeah.
But with Migraine, with Elm Street, I loved it, and I needed more. more. Like, I've never in my life felt such an adrenaline watching a movie like that. Yeah. And I said, I need more. Like, I'm going to watch Halloween now. I'm going to watch all of this. But this was during October of 2004. I was 13. And I saw Elm Street for the first time. I went to Hollywood Video, rented every single Elm Street, rented all the Jasons. I was going hard. Like, I was going down a rabbit hole like you wouldn't believe until a teenager in 2004 in the video store of horror. I was unstoppable.
Yeah.
I just, like, it was.
You had unlimited.
It was because, like, you're thinking about, at the time, you're thinking about like 25, 30 years of horror that, like, it's right there. It's right there for the taking. It was incredible. It was an incredible experience. So I would watch. And it was Halloween, too.
That's
how fucking Halloween. It was October, and Pitch Black, Mountain Dew Pitch Black came out for the first time.
Oh, my gosh.
So I had a Halloween-themed drink, because I was already getting into snack foods at the time, and my love for food. I was getting into horror. It was a great fucking month.
Yes.
And AMC had Fear Fest, and it was the best fucking shit. It had Pet Cemetery. It had all the Halloweens. It had my love for Halloween 3. Oh, my God. I love it.
It's awesome.
It's fucking amazing. Fucking incredible. It's my favorite Halloween.
Yes.
Fuck all y'all.
What, Rob Zombie's Halloween's?
No. What?
Absolutely not.
No.
Shut up, Kelvin.
What? He's the one saying the absolute ridiculous things.
I don't care. Damon can talk. But
I don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween's. I was just being the dick in the corner here.
Okay. But there was on Bravo that year, they unveiled and of course, by now, this list is pure fucking garbage, but it was the 100 scariest movie moments. But there was one film on there that attracted me like you would not believe. My little 13-year-old brain was like, what is this? This looks amazing. It's beautiful. Why are all these beautiful things happening? Why are all these horrible things happening in the most beautiful way? Like, I mean, it was just the worst fucking display of violence I've ever seen. And it was Suspiria.
Oh.
That was, I literally went from Elm Street to Suspiria with
I feel really bad because I still haven't seen
that's complete.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's talk about that because that is completely. I know that's horror.
Yeah,
but we're talking
art.
Yeah, we're talking Italian art horror.
Yeah, I don't know what it was like after seeing literally watching like Elm Street. It was amazing, and I watched a couple things like I said on the Fear Fest with the mayor, like the Pet Cemeteries and the Halloween and the all the stuff that AMC had the rights to show, of course. But when I saw those clips from Suspiria. And this was like within a week of each other. Like I was already on the Elm Street kick and the Friday kick and the Halloween kick and all that. But the second I saw clips from Suspiria, I was mesmerized. Yeah. That was the very next thing I rented that day.
Yeah.
The very next day. And of course, Hollywood Video being the fucking stellar selection of horror VHS that they had the uncut version of Suspiria.
Nice.
It was life-changing.
Did you see the remake?
Nope.
Look.
Nope.
Look.
I ain't watching that shit.
Don't look. I know everyone will hate me for this. I haven't seen the OG Suspiria. I have seen.
It's on my media server. How can you not see it?
I have seen the remake. That is my perception of Suspiria. Now look,
gentlemen, people of non-determinate gender. Kelvin just gave me an aneurysm.
His eye was shaking.
I hate you, Kelvin.
Look, you know what?
No.
What? No. Fuck. Whatever other movie you want to say.
Did you see all of them? The trilogy.
Yes, I have.
Which show?
Oh my God,
is by far the best.
It is. It's not my favorite Argento, but it changed.
Don't you love
just changes.
Zombie?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's
like though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
That's Lucio Fulci.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
I'm Italian horror is my all-time favorite.
The Giallo, dude.
The Giallo.
Oh my God.
The Giallo, and I've always incorporated Giallo elements into my horror because of my love for it. Yeah. I literally bought the exact gloves for the Shamrock Slasher from Deep Red. And like all the zipper gloves had to have it. I was like, the killer has to have zipper gloves, and every killer, no matter what horror film I have, has to have a straight razor. Someone's head has to go through glass at least once. There was just so many elements. I'm like, I want all of this. And of course, with migraine, I incorporated not just the Elm Street aspect of bad dreams and visions and horrible violence, but I wanted the Giallo style.
The slow build.
The slow burn, the setups, the art gallery sequences had to be shot in a way to where there were patterns. Like their patterns are so important in Suspiria.
I'll tell you, when I was watching Migraine, keep hitting that damn microphone. I was watching Migraine, I'm like, because I was used to St. Patrick's Day, Rosemary and Sage.
Yes.
And I'm seeing this thing and I'm like, this is a little different.
Yeah.
This is giving me different kinds of vibes here. And now that you bring up the whole Giallo thing, I'm like, it clicks.
Yep.
Wow.
That's all I wanted. And I love Giallo. I breathe Giallo. My 4K collection consists of nothing but Giallo.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Well, it also has to do with Criterion Collection.
Oh yeah, Criterion Collection. I mean,
yeah.
I have the fucking C tattooed on me. I love it so much. And I just want to make a quick shout out to my horror friend Britton Buchanan, who was on The Voice and is a wonderful celebrity here in Sanford. He's a horror fan as well.
Oh, nice.
Because I love these 4K boutique Giallo editions that are coming out. And Argento did Four Flies on Grey Velvet, which is one of the hardest films to come by. And he gave me a tip that Severn had a private copy in stock of 4K Four Flies for a retail price, and I snagged that fucker.
Really?
Yeah, I've got almost every Argento that 4K has.
Damn.
Because I am in love with it, and I can only dream of making a Giallo as good as what Argento or Bava could do.
Was Umberto Bava, right? Umberto. So they did Demons.
Yeah.
And did you see Demons 2?
No, I haven't
No.
seen those two yet.
I was kind of let down by Demons 2. I love Demons.
Sequels, man. What can you do?
I love Demons.
T2.
T2 was, that's
It is the perfect sequel.
It is.
Demons is another one of those movies that I saw way too young, but it was one of those movies that got me hooked in there. I'm just like, this is fucking spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got lucky you got traumatized at such a young age with these films, because I was not.
Traumatized or
Enlightened.
See, but I was the pussycat child. I really was. I was legitimately Ghost Rider, the film with Nicolas Cage, scared me as a child.
Kelvin.
Look, this is just who I was.
Kelvin.
Okay, it wasn't.
What have I started?
It wasn't until I reached more mature age of 11, 12 where I started appreciating the idea of it. And honestly, I will the one film that really cemented it always for me. And look, Evil Dead, I love it. I always will. But The Thing, it's The Thing.
Oh yeah,
It's The Thing. It will always be The Thing.
Like 95, and then
And it's what made me watch Halloween. I'm not the biggest Halloween fan, but first film's great.
I like the shape.
Oh yeah.
I like the shape. I like the early shape. I even like it up to part 5.
Wait, is that when H2O starts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
H2 was after part 5. I think.
Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff.
H2O was 7.
Yeah.
I
like it up
Okay,
to
never
part
mind.
5. I mean, they get a little bit carried away with the whole origination of the thorn.
You start deciding to make him something that he isn't, something that isn't just something.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is because of Migraine. A lot of people love Isaac's portrayal as the tambourine man.
Yes.
And
He's over there.
Hold on. Let's talk about this real fast.
Yeah.
Because I had never met Isaac until that night.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I thought
100%.
he's delightful.
Yeah, no, he is a great.
And I saw him in that movie and I was like, damn, this guy's fucking kind of, damn.
Yeah.
Then I met him. I'm like,
He's just
he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's just a chill, awesome dude. Yeah.
Incredible. He is truly a magnificent being who I owe the world to, just as much as I do anyone else who's worked on these films. He's just delightful. And I don't have him in our films as much because, he's got the college thing, he's got the podcast thing, he's been so busy. But I genuinely wanted him for this role so bad because with it being an Elm Street fan fiction, of course, we had to have a Freddy Krueger type character, something that would invade dreams. But I didn't want it just to be a dream thing. I wanted him to be a real thing in the real world, something that could happen to anybody. Changing that supernatural aspect of Freddy haunting people in their dreams, it's a scary process. Yeah, it's a scary thought, but having someone in real life doing this shit, something that could actually happen to you, is way more terrifying.
And it's being trauma that is developed onto you because you just happen to be in the same location.
Exactly. It's like a haunted house movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a haunted house giallo with Tambourine Man.
Yes.
I tell you, it totally surprised me. And one of the biggest surprises I had was Brian's daughter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because
wait a minute,
I
know her.
I originally,
this
is a little behind the scenes, but originally when scripting, I had heard that Jill would have been playing the child.
Yeah, because I sat back, it was so funny. This is going to be so bad out of context, but I was sitting there on the couch, I was writing out the script because I dug up the 15, when I was 15, the Elm Street fan. I found that original script and I was tweaking ideas that I had from moving it over to Migraine. And I'm just sitting there big old head out of my Gandalf pipe. I'm like, Hey, Jess, my wife turns over. She's like, what's up? Kill a child. What? I was like, no, not like that. But like, I can't think of anything worse to show on film than a child death.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be awful. I don't want it to be Dr. Sleep level.
It is the rule of cinema. Like, one of the rules of cinema is like, you don't kill a child.
But I just thought to myself, because I'm like, with this movie, I really want to fucking push the envelope on what we could do. Everybody knows us about being silly and funny. But if I do something so different, so fucking different, to prove to everybody that I can actually tell a good fucking horror story, I gotta kill a kid. I'm going to see if I can.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I did not even talk about the script elements to anybody. The only people who knew about the script were me and Shay, Isaac, and my wife. Nobody else knew anything about the script at all. And Brian comes up to me during a vendor event. He's like, "Hey, can Violet be in your movie?" And I went,
Well, I was here because she said, he said she could scream, watch. And she screamed, and I was like, holy.
I remember that. And I said, yeah. It won't be a big role, but I think it's great because I thought to myself the whole time too, I was like, Isaac is going to be terrifying and I don't want them in the same room together. And Isaac was like, oh yeah, no, of course not. I was like, yeah, no, we gotta be professional about this. And also I don't want to traumatize the poor kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to alter it in a way to where Jill's character is aged up a little bit and we kind of start out with Violet being the first victim. Like, because even in the Tambourine Man story, like the canon story that Alyssa tells in the film, he started out with the small defenseless prey and then got the confidence to build up to start picking off older
like
people.
a lot of psychopaths.
Yeah, like a challenge for him.
Yeah.
Which I fucking love that. That's probably my favorite film. The moment in the film is the story and the Polaroids.
The backs, and again, and I think it's just one of those experience things of watching so much cinema. But like, I remember when Alyssa's explaining the story, I remember being like, why do you know all this shit? Like, in my head, I'm like, why do you know all this shit? Why do you like, because a lot of the expository, it's like from a character we had seen before, but I was like, why do you know all this shit?
Because I thought.
But like, it's one of those questions I was like, it's kind of in the back of my head. I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, it's strange. But like, the scene was so captivating because, again, like, I remember he explained to me how he was shooting it, and I imagined it differently, and it was so much better than in shot.
So the reason why so eventually I did film that sequence with Alyssa actually like telling, and it wasn't the same story. Like, that story was tweaked like throughout production. And even after we filmed it, I still changed it because I just wanted a little bit of more of a tweak. So I wanted it to sound better. I wanted it to sound more haunting and scary. So it took me forever to rewrite it. And of course I redubbed that later. But then I thought to myself, Raven is not in this film. Raven's in every single film. And I love her so much. And she lives in Florida now. And it hurts her that she can't be in these films. And it hurts me that she can't be in these films. And I thought to myself, what if I got a bunch of people take pictures as a crime scene, put them together. Raven can be a part of that. Then she's officially in the film. She's in one of them. Yeah. And I can scroll those photos across this board, and it just gets worse as they keep going.
While the story's being told.
Because I've never seen that, but it seems so vintage in a way.
Yeah.
It seems so cool because I've never seen that done.
It's crazy too because like I remember when you mentioned it to me and like in my brain again I was picturing it and then I was like I don't think I've ever like there's nothing I've ever seen that has something similar to that. I'm like that's
at my core I am a visionary storyteller. I fucking love cinematography.
Yeah.
And I really do my best to deliver some hella good shots. But Migraine was different. It had to literally look perfect.
Literally by the opening shot, you're like, "What the fuck? This is That's why. It's the step above.
Ass.
Really?
That opening shot was a pain in the ass. Yes, it took 4 takes, and of course, I had to sit there that entire time for the credits to roll over that because I knew the music I was using was 2 minutes. So I said, "Okay, it has to be 2 minutes of just sitting at this window, and then I move."
Okay.
It took.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Yeah, the credit music is playing throughout the time, so you have to account for that.
I wanted nothing.
See, this is the filmmaking stuff you learn.
Yeah, we use grocery carts to move the tripod around.
Wait, where'd you get? Dude, it was like just actually. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I did have wheels for the tripod at the place where we filmed Migraine at, but then like for other scenes because it was in such a bigger space, I thought that the grocery carts here at work actually had.
Speaking of which,
wheels.
Such a solid location for being.
Was that Boone?
Yes, it was.
Boone,
We're
North
going to
Carolina.
say it was Boone.
Okay.
I love it up there.
All right.
The mountains.
Basically,
But it looks really good. Like specifically from like again from the
Yeah.
opening shot and from where you go from there, like it is 100% believable. You are in this mountain range where there's not a whole lot of people.
yeah.
It's kind of an empty town. Like is it,
And
like,
that kind of threw me off because I was used to your movies, Sanford.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm looking while they're playing. I'm like looking in the background. I'm seeing mountains. I'm seeing
mhm.
this isn't
It
Sanford.
was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
spectacular.
it's a
Yeah,
great set.
Jay picked the best possible location. She was like, because what happened was we were originally going to shoot it at the beach.
Really?
Yeah, because we just wanted to have like a fun time together. Like we wanted to replicate Candle Smoke in a way where like, okay, so it's
Like
work,
Myrtle
but we're
Beach is
having
where you're planning?
any beach.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are like, yeah, we can go to the beach. That'd be great. And Jill, me, Shay, and Jill, we get into the car and we're just hanging out. We're talking, and Jill was like, I would love for you guys just to come and hang out with me in Boone because I go to college there and we never get to see each other that much. And Jill was like, it would be great if we could shoot a movie up there while we were there. And we all just kind of sat there for just like it felt like a microsecond, but it's like everyone in the car just thought the same thing at once. What if we changed the location? Like, think about it. The leaves are going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The leaves are going to be great. It's in a mountain town. It's scarier. You don't have sand or water or condensation to fuck with the cameras.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like if we needed a place to stay, we could totally stay at like Jill's dorm. And if we take a week off of work, which is fine because I have vacation time built up, and it was in October, like the scariest month of the year. What are we doing just sitting here thinking about it? Why don't we just go fucking do it?
Yeah.
And I had doubts. I said, there is no way in hell because we just finished Turn Back Time. This was literally the month that this was August. And they wanted to do this 2 months from now in October.
Yeah.
Script wasn't done. Nothing else was done. I had a blow to my confidence because Turn Back Time failed at the box office. And I was just, I don't think that we could have done it, but they assured me that once they were like, oh, you say this now, but once we park and we look around those mountains, you're going to have inspiration like you would not believe. And they were fucking right.
Yeah.
Because I had the best time. Anyway, it was interesting, but we shot the whole thing in 4 days.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
Which is absolutely insane.
That is insane.
Because it, well, that's including the shots from that area, correct?
Yeah, so 5 days in total. It
Yes.
was because we filmed 4 days up there in the mountains, and then the last day we did it here for the art.
Yes, because that's the one scene I remember. I was here, as in I was here.
Was in here?
Yes, it was in our
Party room.
yes, and
Okay.
it's crazy because like I remember them saying like they were going to film in the party room, and I was like, well, okay, but what's the scene? And they're like an art scene. I'm like, that's perfect, and my brain immediately went to the chalkboard, and that's where that's where a lot of the shot is.
And that happened because literally I was like, damn, I got the art gallery scene coming up. I still don't have a location. This was like a week beforehand.
Oh
And
wow.
like a customer came in and they were just like, hey, can I check out the party room? And I'm like, sure. And I just look over at the chalkboard and I was like, fuck. There it is.
Mhm.
Guys, I have an idea. And it looks great. You can't even tell. You can't even fucking tell.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, yeah.
But yeah, it was a really,
I would have never known that.
Yeah, this is me telling you is that, yeah.
I didn't sleep while I was up there because I did not realize that I was allergic to down pillows, which are pillows with feathers.
Yeah.
My
Oh.
breathing would
Goose
stop.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
halfway
Wait,
through
what?
sleep.
That's
Yeah.
a thing?
Did not know that because I woke up and like my breathing stopped and I've never had that happen. I'm like, what is happening? And then I like looked it up and I'm like, I'll be damned, I'm allergic to feathers. Well, learn something every day. So I didn't sleep well at all. And there was an issue with the sound because I did not take into account the frequency of the mountains having a higher pitch, and the
Yeah, 'cause
entire
you were-
film is dubbed in
Oh.
post. But I thought to myself, you know what? I can actually do the film a lot faster without having to set up a mic or having to set up audio. Just film it. Just worry about how it visually looks and then dub it in later. And that's what I did. Also because Argento
Wow.
dubbed every single one of his films.
And it works really well. It
Good.
does. Because I remember I wasn't here for the dubbing, but I was in the area for when the dubbing was happening. I remember being like, oh yeah, it's probably for some pickups. And then I watched the film and I was like,
It was for all of it.
and yet I genuinely didn't pick it up
Nope.
because
Because
it
we
works.
We watched it as we were dubbing, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
And we would also stop and pause. Like, there was only one moment in that film where I was like, I could have done that better, but then I was like, but I'm not going to change it because that makes it a little bit more giallo.
Is it with the cop?
Kinda.
Yeah, that was
One line.
yeah. I know what we're talking about. Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to keep it because all giallos have that one or two weird scenes where it's like, why that doesn't add up?
Yeah, finish it up.
So I was like, whatever. And of course, like, and this is, I'm not going to get into this too much because it's a hard subject. My mom died while I was up there. And
Sorry.
it was rough because I was literally like, because I knew, because she had been bad for years and I knew it was only a matter of time at that point. But
the film's dedicated to her.
yeah, it is. I know that, like, my dad was like, I don't know if you could be here when you get back. And I'm like, I think so. And I was like, do I need to stay? And she was like, don't you be there. I can't think. She had to be like, money on the way up there. She was like, you better finish it. I was like, okay. And I did. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie.
It is the best film you've ever made to this day.
It by far. When I saw that, I was,
And it's what makes me
blown away.
excited for your future as a creator as a whole. No, it's no haha. It's
you know what?
you because again, we've said this prior. We said this with Turn Back Time, and yet you made Migraine, which was again the best one.
This is what I like, and I've said it already once. You tell stories, and I love stories. That's what gets me in. That's why when I see a movie that tells me a story,
It doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 10. Doesn't matter if it's.
I like the story. I like to be told a story. If I'm spending time to watch something, I hate when you watch a movie and you're like, what the fuck?
You feel like you
This is a
saw
waste-
nothing.
this is a
You
waste
feel like
of
you
2,000
watched
hours.
nothing. Yeah.
I gotta honestly say, every one of your movies that I've seen, it's been a story that I've loved.
There isn't a single
It's been a
time
complete story.
where I've watched one of your movies and I've been bored, which is like in my
That was
opinion.
my biggest fear going into this.
In my opinion, it is the best statement you can say about a film because, in my opinion, that's the worst thing you can be about a movie is boring. Because, I mean,
I
look,
try to pace my films perfectly. It is a challenge for me because that's my
I think
biggest fear.
pacing is one of the hardest parts about
Because
filmmaking.
with Migraine, I was literally telling her about it. I was just like, you ever seen John Dillman? It's a 3-hour movie of a woman basically making dinner. I want that for Migraine's entire opening sequence. I don't want any dialogue for the first 20 minutes.
Dude, when there was no dialogue, for a while, I thought, will there be no dialogue in this entire movie? And I was excited by that. I was like, are you serious?
The audio was messed up. I was like,
No. I knew I was like, will
I
there be
genuinely,
no
'cause
words?
like I said, I love
But then I remember the dubbing, and I was like, okay.
Show, don't tell. That's the key. Show, don't tell. And when I was telling it to Jessica, when I told everybody, when I was like telling the whole cast about this, I'm just like, this is going to be a very big challenge, but this is what I want. And they're like, we'll do whatever you want. I'm like, okay, but you gotta go with me on it because when you see this character development, you're going to know everything about this person, and you're going to love this
Nice.
person, and you're going to feel so bad for this person the entire
Without
time.
a whole lot of words.
I feel like I keep talking over you guys. You have any
No,
questions?
no.
That are important. I
mean-
it's like, oh God, I'm talking so much.
no, well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no, of course,
to hear all this.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I loved Migraine. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what else comes out in the future. One thing that I have noticed, I'm looking at all the posters you have of your
Mhm.
films here in the background. Turn Back Time is the only one that is an actual photo
Yes.
and is not an artistic drawing.
Yes.
Is there a reason behind that?
Yes. So my artist, my absolutely lovely and wonderful friend, her name is Susie. She goes by Suspiria Land on Instagram.
And I
all
actually
those
noticed
stuff.
that down here. I was
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Suspiria Land.
I met her because I was scrolling through Instagram one day, and Instagram has great algorithms when it comes to horror, and there was a Scream portrait of Drew Barrymore that was hand painted and drawn, and I've loved it. And I reached out. She did not have a lot of followers at the time either. I said, I want you to do a movie poster for me. She said, okay. And it cost a fortune, but let me tell you something. It's worth every fucking penny when you see them in person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get the originals too. I have the original paintings hung up in the apartment.
I've seen the original Rosemary and Sage. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
She was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, and she did a mock-up for Turn Back
Which is
Time,
what's on the director's cut.
and she messaged me and she was like, she just couldn't do it. And I was like, that's okay. That's fine. I'll wait for you. Whenever you're back and stable, I will come back. And I haven't been back yet. I did the Migraine poster myself.
Well, that looks pretty damn good too, though.
Yeah, I dabble with a little bit of digital art. It's not AI. I promise you that. I do not fuck with AI shit. No, fuck that.
Fuck our overlords.
No. We do it right. Those are photographs, but they have filters on them, but they're not AI filters. It's a program I've been using from literally 15 years old and up. So it's just, it's not AI.
I can understand why people would. Also, if you look at your style prior, like from it's the Candle Smoke poster, the St. Patrick's Day poster, the Omar poster, it's very similar. Like in the face shape, the way it's rounded, the way it's it's very similar.
That's what I like.
Yeah, that's you were going for her style. Yeah.
I fucking hate Photoshop posters. I want hand drawn. I want it to
every
reminisce.
Poster now. Jesus Christ! That's let alone a thing. Like every poster is the same fucking thing. It is 12 people in like an oblong shape, and it's like it's people like that barely are in the movie, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's garbage. And when I saw Susie's work, I'm like, you're I gotta have you forever, and I still do. She's absolutely fucking wonderful, and one day I will have her complete everything whenever she gets better, and I wish her all the best of luck. I really do. She is a wonderful fucking person, just the nicest, friendliest, and most talented artist I know. I am honestly very blessed to have known her, and like I said, I don't deserve her. These posters look way better than the movie itself.
Shut up.
Not just like a VHS.
Okay, you're not wrong there. That is the VHS quality. It's like, oh my god, this movie. Oh, what the fuck did I just put in?
Crap.
I've seen so many terrible fuck-sucking movies because of that.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, this artwork is awesome.
But if you look at every artwork for every single, it applies to the film perfectly.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know, and she never even she saw St. Patrick's Day, but I don't think she's seen anything else she's done posters for.
Really?
Yeah, she just knows what she's doing.
Yeah, Rosemary and Sage is my favorite poster of all of them.
Because I told her, I gave her ideas of plot, and I gave her like color schemes of what I'm working with, and she just goes off that. But the one thing I told her about Rosemary and Sage was my favorite poster that she's ever done. I said the film is a lesbian cop movie, and she said, okay, bet. If you look at it, it's a pride flag.
No, it is. It is a rainbow.
It's a rainbow.
Look at it. It's a rainbow.
She's subtly,
but you can't tell looking at it, but it is a rainbow,
and it is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is so I might.
It's a great post. It is. Yeah, it is.
To bring the original pieces up here just so y'all can like enjoy the craftsmanship.
I have seen it in the picture, but like I haven't seen. Yeah, you haven't. Yeah,
images, and because they're upscaled, they're like they kind of blur out the detail. In person, it is ridiculous.
I still haven't been to your house, so I got to be there eventually.
Yeah,
I want to see all the tapes.
We're moving.
The tapes. Yeah, I hear you got a big old tape collection.
Yeah, eventually I'll get some of them. Hopefully.
You will. I have to downsize, but you'll get what I don't want.
I love the scraps.
No, migraine was a fun time. I'm glad that we got to do it. The future's crazy, man.
It's yours, man. It's yours.
And that's what's crazy. I mean, from the beginning, the future has always been yours. It's just you didn't know what your future was going to be.
I had no idea that I would like
Spring Lane Studios would be what it is now.
I had no idea that even migraine could be accomplished. I didn't think we had it in me, and it is an achievement, and it is something that I can actually sit down and say that I'm truly proud of.
Good.
Well, by the way, it has won. How many awards did it win? I'm sorry.
It's been accepted into one festival so far, but it swept it. It took 12 awards out of 18 that they give.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For visual effects, best director, best actor.
Did you submit it to Fear Fest over here?
Yes. Fear Fest. Look,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they turned it down.
Yeah.
Carolina Fear Fest turned it down, and Crimson Screen in South Carolina also turned it down.
It's insane to me that Fear Fest turned it down.
And
I don't understand.
So bad at this theater that I had to pull it from its schedule. It is no longer playing after tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what I said prior makes sense, does it not? That independent cinema is sadly dying from the perception of the normals.
This is mainly a movie theater.
Yeah.
People out in the community want to come and see whatever the new movies are. I think an independent theater that only played independent film.
Oh, I tried.
No?
I'm not going to say any names.
Well, Sanford may be kind of...
Oh, not here.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Here it failed, absolutely, but there is an independent theater. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say when. I'm not ready to burn that bridge yet. But I will say that not only was I ghosted on several emails, but they also unfollowed me after the emails and basically told me best of luck.
So my thoughts are, the first thing I can think of is that I wonder how much there's inner little politics that are going on at these cons, where the Fear Fest here in Carolina, I cannot. This is only their 5th year.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they're turning down.
Yeah. I got it shocked me when I got the rejection. They not only did that, so Candle Smoke is also my scapegoat. Like, it's one of those movies where I'm just like, okay, well, if I don't get accepted here because of length, Candle Smoke is a shoe-in because it's it's 4 minutes without credits.
Yeah.
Got turned down too. Carolina Fear Fest turned both Candle Smoke and Migraine down. And the crazy part about it is, and I say this with absolute love, I have a filmmaking acquaintance. He's a great guy. Love him to death. His film played at the first Carolina Fear Fest and it's playing again this year.
Twice.
And it's like, and great. That's awesome because it's fucking great. And he's fucking awesome. He's a very kind person. I think he's wonderful, but I'm just like, you kind of took a spot away from someone who hasn't shown their work there before.
Ever. Yeah.
And even if Candle Smoke got in, that'd be cool, whatever. But it just, I don't know what else they're playing,
I've gone to these cons. I've gone to hundreds of these cons.
Oh yeah.
And I go and I watch some of these indie films.
By the way,
they're not 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
I've sat for 2 hours watching some shit horror. So I'd like to know why they turned your shit down.
I would too.
I'm gonna reach. You know what I should do? I should go ahead and set up out at Fairfest and just have it all Spring Lane cinemas. Have all your shit out there.
Every poster you should
do. And that's not me being a sore loser. There's some. I bet there are some truly incredible films in the lineup.
I don't doubt at all because
it's just so hard to find an audience for the things that we do. I feel like maybe we're too niche. Maybe it's because our film looks grainy and old and it doesn't look modern. Maybe they don't think it's going to resonate with people. Maybe it's too niche. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew the reasoning. And absolutely best of luck to all the filmmakers that did get accepted because let me tell you.
You have a trailer for Migraine?
Yeah, if you want to call it a trailer, it's 30 seconds.
There was a trailer I watched today with James McAvoy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? You don't
Who's James McAvoy?
I know. Professor X.
Yeah, okay.
You don't like James McAvoy?
Yeah, that's
until
right.
he started phoning in all of his performances.
Oh,
isn't he like? Didn't he play in like M. Night Shyamalan's?
Yeah, he was in Split, which was, oh my God, he was
Split's great. Split's great.
Yeah. But after that, it was just.
So, don't watch the trailer. Nobody watched the trailer for See No Evil or Hear No Evil. It's one of the two. Nobody watched that trailer because the trailer gives the entire movie away.
Yep.
The entire film.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I would have loved to, I will watch it for sure, but I would have loved to walk in that movie not knowing anything because it's a great idea. Yeah. But the trailer gives every fucking thing away.
I hate that.
The entire plot.
And
the entire idea.
Literally, like, I'm not going to show it. I didn't even announce like the plot summary for Migraine until after the release date was because I was just like, well, I got to get someone here so I can announce what the plot's about. But I thought that by literally not telling anyone a fucking thing about it, it would work, and it did.
By the time the movie came out, my only preconception of the movie was it was a girl with a headache. And there was going to be death. And that was it. That was pretty much it. That was all I knew.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It was fun. It was great. There's 3 cuts of the film at the moment. The first cut is the work print cut that's been light screened. That's the one that I usually have. This is with the music rights that I don't own. The second cut is the festival cut. It's music from St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
because I moved in there. And that's the one that's like been making the festival circuits. Because right now, the completed version of the film with the original score and original song.
And is what's going to be in the Blu-ray?
Yeah, that'll be the Blu-ray copy and the streaming copy. So that's the copy I'm waiting on right now because they're working really hard on it because they're wonderful and talented musicians. But after they saw the film, they're just like,
I understand.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
They loved it. They loved it. And I was actually just texting them now. They were just like, sorry that the film didn't do too hot at the theater, but people are going to love the final cut. And I'm like,
thank God.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm happy with all 3 cuts, but I'm very, very excited about the final cut for sure.
I'm excited to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Final cut's going to be great because
excited on that Blu-ray.
Stupid. So do you have any kind of a timeline for those Blu-rays?
I don't know. I thought November.
Yeah.
Because I got to go dig through archives of footage and stuff because I really want to make these Blu-rays that people are really going to love. Because not only are they going to have the highest definition quality of the films on these discs for the first time without the compression from YouTube, without the compression from the DVDs, you're going to get blooper reels. You're going to get behind the scenes pictures and footage, promotional images that I never
commentaries,
or maybe commentaries,
huh?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
John Felix did say he wanted to record a couple, and I'm like, okay, because that might be another reason why we got to delay him. But the other thing that is going to be the probably the most sought after, and the things that this is going to take a while for me to edit them, but there's a lot of deleted footage from these movies that never made the cut.
Yeah.
So there will be deleted scenes on there as well. Like St. Patrick's Day has about maybe 20 more minutes of footage that was cut. Not all of it's going to be present because it's all crap, but like the stuff that was like, there's a death scene that got cut, and then there's like
Okay.
the things we had to reshoot. Things like actual scenes would be in there. But very much looking forward to that because the DVDs are great. And I love how they look. Love the aesthetic.
I love the printing.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you and you said this is the Blu-rays, you want them to look symmetrical, like identical, because
Absolutely.
it's beautiful when you look at a case and it's like,
Yeah.
yes,
No, they're
they
going to
look
be
beautiful.
It's going to be an awesome collection for sure. The migraine one is probably going to come out first before anything else because I've already got all that readily available.
Exactly. It's the most recent one, so
yeah.
you have all that.
The migraine
right
Blu-ray will be the first Blu-ray that we've ever done, and it will be loaded with features, and it will be loaded with a wonderful presentation, 2K presentation.
Now, I can't remember. No, sorry. Now that I can't remember, it's Candle Smoke, right? That's going to get the black and white version.
Candle Smoke will have a black and white Twilight Zone version.
I'm so excited for that.
And this is, like I was telling Damon earlier today, the Twilight Zone version of the film, it was not just added a grayscale filter. I actually did color correction on it to make sure that the colors matched where they belong.
I believe that is what you intended correctly originally. That's what you
absolutely intended to be
when
black and white.
Yeah, when you picture, I mean, because Twilight Zone episode, exactly. Like it's
Those Western Twilight Zone episodes were so underrated. There's so many good ones.
It's also.
I'm going to go home and start watching Twilight Zone again.
Twilight Zone. It's so funny because like again,
I have them all on my. I think it's on my OneDrive. I have my OneDrive. I don't have a huge OneDrive. You know, my cloud space, and it's completely smack full with every single episode of Twilight Zone.
I have not upgraded yet. I still have.
I know.
All of
I know
them on
what.
VHS.
I remember what you said. Your favorite episode is the pool one, correct?
Yeah.
But
where the kids jump in the
That's how
swimming
big
pool.
that VHS collection is.
my personal favorite is still the first one, the original premiere episode, which is a man coming onto Earth.
Yep.
With nobody there.
Yep.
There isn't a single. Obviously, it becomes a test. He finds out, or not. We find out later. It's a
Bullshit.
test.
I hate that fucking.
Yeah. No. So do I.
Easy.
So do I. I
It's a
agree.
good episode up until that point.
It sucks too because it's like it's the same thing with It's the episode where the three men end up on Mars or the moon and they didn't actually get sent. They ended up careful.
Oh, I love that one.
No,
because I didn't expect that.
See that one is great, but the twist at the end. Same thing with it makes me feel like I'm like, oh, then the thing I experienced wasn't real. I guess
That was
Yeah.
real. They killed a man.
My
you're right. That is the difference because he was alone. You're right.
My three favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone.
It is one of the
The
better.
first one is with the kids when they jump into the pool and they come up in.
The Bewitching Pool. That was the last
Bewitching Pool.
episode ever aired.
Yeah.
That's my first favorite one of all time. My second favorite one is gonna have to be that. What is it? How to Eat Humans or whatever.
Oh, the
Surf Man.
cookbook
Surf Man.
one, yeah.
Surf Man.
That's so great. That one is great.
Man.
A classic, of course.
And then,
It's so
of
funny.
course, the one where he wishes everything was shut up so he could just read. The world ends.
Oh, yes.
And then he
The
breaks his
Burgess
glasses.
Meredith episode.
Yes.
Glasses break. It's so heartbreaking.
Again, because I haven't watched the entire series, I always thought a great Twilight Zone episode would be like basically like not Final Destination, but like an idea where it's people are waking up in this hospital waiting room constantly, and you're with the main character the entire time, and eventually you get to
22.
Is that an episode?
Room for one more, honey.
Is that one? Then I've seen it. Never mind.
Yeah,
But is it the same thing? Is it what I think? Where it's like eventually,
It's also like pre-Final Destination, too.
Yeah.
but like where you find out the end, it's like, oh, okay, it's they're all dead and they're going to hell or heaven. It's like one of the
Oh,
options.
God, I hate that kind of twist.
Okay,
Because it's like, it's like, whatever. You get, like, sometimes Twilight Zone has a twist that's, like, so fucking heavy.
See, but I think you can play it really well if you do it subtly.
Yeah. But it's so hard, too, since it's been done to death as
Let
well.
me do it.
You could do it. No, the best Twilight Zone episode to me is Walking Distance. When a man walks back into his hometown and he literally sees him as a child there.
Yeah,
He
goes
travels back in time. And it's
I don't think I've seen this one. I don't.
so it's fifth episode of the first season.
I'm gonna put them all on me.
I must have seen it then because I've definitely seen multiple times the first season.
If I
can't remember
like,
it.
picking other favorites, it's like picking your favorite children.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I mean, you got so many good ones. You got one where Robert Redford is like a wounded soldier that tries to get inside the house of like this old lady, and the old lady's terrified to let people in and trust them. I can't spoil that here, but it's a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
And oh God, the 5 characters in search of an exit, where there's like different people, like there's a bagpipe player and a clown and a ballerina all trapped in like this room and they can't get out. There's oh God,
There's too many good ones.
there's
Yeah.
so many good ones.
I need to keep watching more Twilight Zone. There's bits I haven't seen.
I have them.
Really.
I put them all on media server now that I got a new.
I watched it whenever it first came.
I got 4 terabytes open, so I'll put them on.
I think it's worth you guys actually sitting down and just
sitting through them.
Just sitting through it. They're not all bangers.
No, of course not. But that's also like
they're all good. I
yeah.
enjoyed every single one of them.
No, yeah. It's
some are better than others, of course.
Yeah.
Some are just you're like, this is cinematic quality that television has not even still to this day matched.
No.
Like
and it won't.
Like the one in the cellar,
because it was
the
creative
bomb
ideas
shelter where they're literally tearing each other apart because they think they're going to die.
Yeah,
and it's just, oh man, there's a lot to unpack with those episodes. But I owe that show to honestly everything that has ever built in my career. I love that show.
Yeah,
I owe it the world.
And the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not the fucking the original 7 films.
It's a great film. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. There's nothing great about
it. Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Make you.
My heart was literally ripped to shreds watching that unfold.
It was so strange because I obviously everybody knew who Freddy Krueger was prior to that, and I remember watching it for the first time. It was me and my brother at the time. My brother watching, and we were like, "What? Why'd you make him a pedophile?"
Well, he was already a pedophile.
No, but it was I don't know,
stupid, and it was fucked up, and I can't believe that someone even said, "Oh, let's get someone who directed fucking music videos for this fucking movie."
Yeah,
this could be a whole nother podcast on this fucking only to whip to shreds this fucking piece of shit movie.
We can do that too.
I will absolutely sign me up.
We're doing series now, so maybe we'll do the Nightmare on Elm Street series at some point.
God, you do the Elm Street series, you'll never get rid of me.
All right, it's all right.
I was in the fucking documentary.
Nice, really.
I love that fucking shit.
Wait, yes, you told because it's like a 3-4 hour documentary, right? Yeah.
It's like
I still haven't seen it.
Hours, and let me tell you, it's an incredible doc. Where they were asking fan input, and I'm like, stop the fuck up, get me in that shit. It was awesome. I fucking love that series so much. Italian horror, Twilight Zone, Elm Street. That's what it was all about.
Little Krueger.
Wow, I choked there for a second. So, as we wind things down here, we've been going for about 2.5 hours now. Jared, anybody wants to get a hold of you, find your stuff, where are they going to do that at?
The best thing to do is, God, I hate social media, but Instagram has the biggest following. I have the most, outside of YouTube, there's a pretty big follower count. I wouldn't say pretty big. It's in the hundreds. But Instagram is the way to do it. Spring Lane Studios on Instagram. Yeah. That is, you can email me and go to the website, springlanestudios.com. That's pretty much those two options.
If you're ever in Sanford, North Carolina, swing by Spring Lane Cinemas. I keep mixing them up. Spring Lane Cinemas.
Yeah.
And say hi to Jared. Get in here and tell him you want to check out his movies. Maybe he'll get you a free drink or something. Yeah, who knows?
Or I might tell you. Depends on how.
Also, it depends on what movie you're talking about too.
Shut up,
Kelvin. Saying if you're an asshole, don't expect to be.
But that's it. That is the end of the 100th episode of Guess What You're Wrong.
So I do want to say one last thing. The general movie going public, get your shit together.
I can agree with that.
You're watching absolute
garbage,
sludge, and you're accepting it.
Say it in fancy French, garbage.
But
that's also, I'll say one more thing too about that. I think that the studios that release these films, even when you're an indie studio like A24 or even Shudder, they need to get their shit together.
Yeah.
There's no excuse whatsoever as to why you're limiting people to watch your films. We literally reached out to Fathom Events.
Really?
Yes. And they told us that we weren't good enough to play their content.
Which is insane because I've seen a lot of the Fathom Event movies.
Just like
going through AMC.
You don't want money. Even if it's it doesn't cost you anything. We pay studios to play their movies.
Yeah.
And they don't think we're big enough for that. So I have to go out of town to see something like Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, which is
ridiculous.
Or something like Dream Scenario, which I don't think got a huge theatrical release at all, which is bullshit. I wanted to see it.
It's who cares if the audience? The reason why audiences aren't seeing it is because you are limiting the audience to see it. What are you doing? What?
You're not presenting them another option.
Have you heard about this new movie out now called Sting?
Yes. We ain't going to get it.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff on this, and I'm like, where can I go see it?
Same thing with the newest Nicolas Cage film, and it looks insane. It's like him in an apocalypse scenario, like these spider creatures going after him, and we aren't going to get it because why would we? Because apparently we only do the big shots, really, which is so fucking upsetting.
That's why the Spring Lane Film Festival
is
indie indie heaven.
and is important as
It
well.
is important.
Yeah.
Because I have all these filmmaking friends out here and all these other talented people and that's another thing. If you're an indie filmmaker and you're listening to this, I'm not going to tell you no. I mean, yeah, with the festival, I got to make time for things.
You have to make cuts, of course, but
anybody wants to screen their film here, just let me know. Because I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to say you can't play that here.
Yeah,
I will
good
do
enough.
it. Even if it's only for one show, you deserve to have a platform. Your work deserves to be seen.
Mhm.
I don't even care if it sucks. You need to have it played somewhere. Someone needs to see what you've done.
because that's how you grow as an artist.
Yeah.
You get people to see your stuff.
Yeah.
You get the criticism or the laughter or the love or the hate, all of it.
Yeah.
Because it develops you into who you become next and what you get to make next.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists like we don't they don't get that because
So much talent out there that you're not going to see because of limitations of people like you're not good enough. Who cares if you're not good enough? Just show it.
Yeah. Because then you're not gonna ever be good enough.
No.
No matter what in your perceived notion in your head. Because trust me, I've someone who's fought myself my entire life. You will never be good enough in your own head.
Yeah.
You have to push yourself against that.
But that's also how we grow as filmmakers. Like if
As
you're
people as well.
if you're not allowed a platform, then how are you supposed to get criticism to become better?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous the amount of rejection letters, the amount of like it's just you can't do this, you can't do that. Sorry, we're going to go in a different direction. It's just like it's heartbreaking. It makes sense. It's business at the end of the day to everybody else, but to me, it's just
But that's what I hate because it's not business; it's art. That's what it's supposed to be, but that has become a business. That's what
I literally tell everybody I know, I'm like, you got a film, I'll play it here, and I won't charge you.
Yeah.
Just buy some concessions because that's where we make our profit.
Mhm.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Guess What You're Wrong. Everybody out there, sweet dreams. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Let's turn back time, baby.
And that's going to do it for the day. Thanks for hanging out with me and letting me bend your ear for a while. Ain't no time for bad shine. And until next time, don't forget, you're wrong.
Later, Tater.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.